Well,
Hey!
what happened last time on Ebon Ward?
Last time on Ebon Ward, as the 11th hour sat to enjoy breakfast, Brutus came by to give the illustration of the compass to Redpath and mentioned that Madame Delotto would be addressing the public about recent events. They decided to split up before then and have Maze and Dia speak with Octavia about her sister's political beliefs and willingness to share them. Nash and Redpath hurried over to the Green Apple to check on Deletta and ensure her safety to the meeting place. After setting up a hair appointment with Armella, Maze confided in Dia about how meeting his mother and receiving so much praise for his art actually made him feel awful. The realization that there was a whole different life he could have lived and that there would likely be tragedy if he pursued it now. With heavy security, Deletta explained her reasoning for leaving the Coalition and plans moving forward. Some tried to rock the boat like Armella, but both Lucine and Amaranth stepped forward to defend the Portmaster. The crowd seemed to agree with most of what was said, and surprisingly, there was no nefarious activity and everyone dispersed safely. When it was all said and done, Amaranth pulled Maze aside and questioned his connection with Victoria Rivaldis, as her name came up with familial connection. He did tell her his age, which surprised her, but only made her all the more curious about the matter. The blondes then headed over to Smooth as Silk for their hair appointments, where Dia and Maze questioned Amaranth during what she assumed was just sharing gossip. It became clear that the Undine has serious interest in the Keepers remaining present, and lost her composure a few times when the spider eggs were mentioned. Nash and Redpath had no interest in hanging around, so wandered the city and bumped into the Rivaldis, who invited them over for tea. Victoria was pleasant, but Conrad used the opportunity to mostly interrogate them. He even attempted to intimidate them, but was not prepared for Nash's sturdiness or Redpath not giving a fuck. Conrad excused himself, and Victoria suggested they come over for dinner sometime, but first needed to return to the art of it all, with Nash and Redpath accompanying her.
I
Now,
love
of course,
any time in the last times where you refer to Maze and Dia as the
The
blonde.
blonde.
The blonde.
I mean, I can't keep just saying the names because, like, it makes your mind go numb.
You gotta mix it up sometimes.
The blonde's derogatory.
But, of course, even though we left off there, chatted with the party, and they said that they wanted to just kind of like meet up somewhere out in the streets. So just to kind of clarify what happened there is Nash and Redpath escorted Victoria to the art of it all, where eventually Pure and Marigold popped on by to do more art, as well as a couple of new students. So you notice that Victoria is going to be very, very busy today, but I really appreciated the walk and tea with you. Maze is finally dry, and you two continue making your way down, figuring you'll probably bump into them on the lower part of town.
You know, Maze does kind of resemble David Bowie from that music video.
Yeah. And as Dia and Maze are coming down, Redpath and Nash, you pass by this little small troop of kids and what looks to be a chaperone of some sort, talking with a fire giant, and they're like kind of hanging off of her and lifting the kids up high and then making sure to bring them back down very quickly because, like, okay, that's enough of that. It's a high height for you kids. But yeah. Looks like the
Redpath has a very nice smile at that.
Yeah.
Aww.
But as you guys are making your way up the stairs, and as Dia and Maze come down the stairs, you guys make eye contact with each other.
And start a Pokemon battle.
Music, sweet music everywhere.
What are you singing?
I'm not singing. Dancing.
I love the idea of like 40 feet away. What are you singing?
Hi.
I can tell when Dia's being a shithead. Got bad ears.
Hey, this
You
isn't a
can
musical episode.
You can tell when Dia's being a shithead because her lips are moving.
Hey, you two, what'd you get off to?
Oh boy.
Oh.
Ooh, are we about to square dance?
Redpath reaches out a hand to Dia like,
Alright, oh, she takes it.
Alright. Casually spinning.
Yeah.
Mace
Anyway.
just turns to Nash. Alright, what did you two get up to, since apparently they're doing a bit?
Well, we just walking to look around and, got invited to tea at Rivaldis.
Fucking
What?
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wifed her way into it and hauled us over to the manor.
Well, how was it? Did you learn anything? Did you get murdered?
Not
Shit.
second.
I guess he would have had a difficult time murdering you in the presence of his wife.
Yeah. I mean, he
More
certainly
like
tried
he-
to with like a stare when she wasn't in the room, but
Yeah, ooh, look, I summoned shadow creatures, and me Red Path look each other like, okay.
okay. All right, cool. Next trick.
Yeah, shadow creatures. We've seen that.
Yeah.
Yes, we've all seen the
Yeah.
Yes, we all seen the
We've
shadow.
all seen the shadow creatures. Get a new trick.
General inquiry about where we stand politically and how we're feeling about all the hubbub in town, yada yada.
What was your impression
Obviously-
of him? Also, should we circle back the other way?
Yes, okay. Generally,
He
he's
always
a-
had this face, and he does like a neutral face with a very slight eyebrow till angry. He just looked like that, like, all the time.
He's just got resting bitch face. No, generally he seems to be a pretty straight shooter. He's, I think a lot of the prickliness about him was kind of expedited by Oleander last time we were around, so,
Huh.
yeah.
Okay. Dia gives Maze a hopeful look.
Oh, though, yeah, he certainly doesn't seem to like Maze. I don't even know if he realizes what the deal is, or if he just thinks that his wife is sweet on some young thing or what, but...
Oh, that would be weird.
That would
Yeah.
be exceptionally weird, yeah.
I'm gonna pop in real quick. That is not the case in any fashion.
Yeah.
Nope. Just not at all. Don't even try it.
Well, thank goodness we can put that thought out of our heads.
Yep. Just gonna pop in real quick. No.
Nah. Anyway, he seems suspicious. Reasonably so.
Out of...
Kept asking questions like, what's your skills? What you all do? What you good at?
Yeah, that's not at all a shady series of questions.
Well, yeah, I think it's safe to assume he would like to maximize his chances of being able to kill us if he decides that's what he wants to do.
Out
It's only fair.
of curiosity, what do...
Okay, stop, I'm getting dizzy.
What is... What do the two of them act like together?
Oh, he's whipped.
Wow, that's hilarious and somehow not surprising in the slightest.
Yeah, wife guy right there.
That's so funny.
He really didn't want us there, but then she made the little ooh face, you know, the one people do.
So, it sounds like he likes her, obviously. Does she seem to like him?
I mean, she
Didn't
must
seem like she disliked him in any way.
They seem, what word,
Content?
familiar? Like, this is thing they do forever, which kinda is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem content in their dynamic.
I mean, after so long, I can't imagine they would still be together if they didn't enjoy one another's company.
Yeah, I can't imagine any major relationship hiccups that might strain that.
Well,
Big shrug.
Maze waits for you to get it.
I mean, yeah, but they don't know about that part, right?
I can't... Yes, they don't know that I'm here, exactly, but, like, they have to know about me.
Well, she has to, at least. Theoretically. Now, actually, sorry, a quick out-of-character question. Do we know whether the Rivaldis are the sort of, like, the lesser type of vampire or the super-duper type of vampire?
You don't know, unfortunately.
Because Matthias was pretty clear that the like true vampires shouldn't be able to have children, since that was his reaction when we mentioned that Blackthorn apparently did.
Correct. So, with that logic, you could at least surmise that Victoria is not a true undead. She's still a vampire, to be certain, but she's not a true undead. And for clarification on what that basically means is that if Victoria were to die, she doesn't get stuck in the abyss like other true undead creatures. She's not nearly as powerful as a true undead vampire, but still quite a threat.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. She did seem to have aged a little bit from that portrait rendering of her. I mean, maybe it was just a flattering portrait, but yeah, no, if she's been around for as long as we assume, she's probably not... Yeah, but I don't know what that says about Conrad. Maybe he can't have children, and so... I don't know. It's not impossible. It might have been some kind of mutual understanding between them, as opposed to, you know, just she had a fling.
Right, no, clearly I was born out of mutual understanding and then shot out of a catapult or something.
I don't know, maybe there was vampire biz going on and they had to smuggle you away into a basket down the river and then, you know, wouldn't that be
Forgive me if
cooler?
I have a more dim view of things than you do.
Don't vampire have thin with river anyway?
That's
I
true.
guess
That
that's
would be the
true.
best way to keep your baby safe from a horde of vampires.
Yeah, you might be onto something.
No, we're not.
You think about how the Rivaldis live in the caves, which have plenty of small streams, and that didn't seem to slow them down. You didn't see Connor like, ah! As he's trying to cross a bridge.
No, goddammit, no!
Not again! Why did we live here?
This is why I teleport.
Oh, this is the 11th hour's fault.
Reverse 11th hour.
Robot house.
Fucking Phantom Thieves.
No!
And can you remind me also, what, if anything, do we know about Maze's father?
Jack shit.
Okay,
Hey!
That's what I thought, but I want to make sure it wasn't just me forgetting.
Nope, I don't think that has been brought up a single time.
It has been on Maze's mind, but he hasn't brought it up. It's not like any of these jokers will be able to answer that question. There's kind of only one person who can.
Well,
Yeah.
you never know. It could be some kind of nonsense alchemy thing. You could be a test tube baby, a gift given to them by Blackthorn.
I guess.
Would that make you feel better?
I don't know what that would make me feel.
Then you'd have another surrogate father figure.
But then you would have some fraction of relation to the bitches.
Yeah, that's true. Like stepbrother,
Ugh.
the step doctor. Hey, so I wanted to go visit Doopsy because I think he's probably depressed.
Oh, yeah, he's certainly sad as hell.
And it sounds like he's decided to step down at least temporarily. I wish it weren't so, but if he doesn't feel like he's up to the job right now, then he doesn't feel like he's up to the job. But, I don't know. He's had 24 hours now to stew on what happened, and I don't know if he's been under any kind of pressure from people trying to get him to step down since then, but I feel like he could use a pep talk.
Sure, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. He He was instrumental in, I mean, for all of his faults, he did keep the Well of Knowledge from literally blowing up and killing all of us, so.
Yeah.
Gotta give him credit where it's due.
Probably would have just melted your minds.
Oh, that's better, yeah.
We've dealt with worse.
Well, thanks the goblin in our mind for telling us this info.
A goblin in my mind palace? How would I live without a brain? Anyway, do we know where Doopsy is?
I sort of assumed he would still be at the university for now.
I don't know if that's a safe assumption.
Yeah, maybe not. Have we ever learned anything about where Doopsy lives?
No, you haven't. But as you're chitty-chatting, you can hear the clicky-clack of a cane coming up the steps, and the smell of smoke. Looking for Doopsy, huh?
Yeah, we wanted to catch a quick word with him. Do you know where he lives?
Oh, I got an appointment with him. Oh. You want to tag along?
Sure.
Yeah, can we be your +4s?
Oh, I don't mind. Look at all this fun company. So how you kids been?
Oh, we've been all right.
Busy.
Saving the day.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Oh, I know. Yeah, the Midnight Crew, right?
Yeah.
Yep, you got it.
Honestly, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah,
we do
no.
have a hatred of moral cowards who lack manly sparks and what have you. No, it's the 11th hour.
All right. Seems unimpressed.
No, it's not to impress you, so, you know.
Oh, that's a shame. But, yeah, no, you guys have been real busy, and thanks for your help with the academy and whatnot. I know Rosie was with you all, and Amaranth had you guys run on in, so thanks for that.
Yeah, Rosa was instrumental in getting that job done. I feel like we probably would have been swarmed pretty quickly were it not for a couple well-placed cones of cold.
Ah, cold, the pussy's element.
Right. Well, good to hear. You know, it's nice to hear that she can be more than just Nosy Rosie. So.
Oh, that's a good one, I gotta admit.
Oh, yeah, that's a common name for her around the house. That's one of the reasons she even became a keeper, to my understanding. She's pretty decent at detective work. But, you know, it doesn't matter.
How common are we talking? Is that, like, does anyone use it other than you?
Oh, Amaranth uses it.
Oh.
Not super often, but I think she means it more in a cheeky way. I mean it in just facts.
Well, what do you expect when she's, you know, raised to think that everything is her business? I can't imagine how it must be to feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep popping, old man.
You got it, begins dancing.
But yeah, well, I'm meeting him over at the Hoagies of House Hessive. My treat. Don't order too much.
I'll take it.
All right, and then I'll move you guys over to the Hoagie house, and then I'll ping.
Back at it again at the House of Hoagies.
Oh, God! He doesn't have his hat on. He's just there by himself.
Well,
his wig
his
is
hat
bad.
got trashed.
Fucked his hat because we had to kill the thing under it.
Oh,
Yep.
God, he really does. He's really just a sad old man eating by himself in the middle of the day.
Yep, you come in and you see Doopsy, who is sitting on what looks to be like 3 spell books to actually be seated at the table fully. And when the door opens and he sees Oleander, he's like, "Oh, Oleander," and then sees the rest of you, and he like perks up. "Oh, hello, everyone."
Hello.
Right. Good morning. Well, I guess it's right afternoon now. I just found 4 stragglers. You mind? Oh, not at all. Very excited. Hello.
Hello, Doopsy.
We're going.
Sorry again about tackling you.
Oh no, you guys are heroes. It was absolutely necessary.
Dio steps up, grabs a chair, and makes eye contact to be like, let's fucking get the chairs before Oleander does.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Maze is kind of waiting. He's like, is Oleander gonna take his seat at the table? This is his meeting. Is he gonna go?
Oleander actually is like, I think we're gonna need a bigger table. I'd hate for having anyone stand, so. And if you don't mind, perfect.
Dia's plan has been foiled.
He's gonna have to shout.
Look, I might. We might not love the man, but I do respect someone who can decide which chair is his and claim it thoroughly.
All right. I'm just going to need to grab my spell books.
Dia will pick up the books for Doopsy.
Oh, bless you. So strong. All right.
Oh, thank you.
Huh.
Do you need a hand up into the chair?
Oh no, that'll be fine. And I'll sit next to him. You shouldn't have to have that burden.
I hope he says that loud enough for Oleander to hear.
Yeah, you hear Oleander snort, mostly out of a chuckle.
Yeah, she'll set the books down.
Oh, thank you so very much, Dia.
And he just kind of flutters on up.
Guess I'll set on blonde side.
Right.
Chat the first napkin. Well done.
Oleander kind of like turns over. So, I wanted to start this meeting with an apology to you, Mr. Doopsy.
Oh. What?
He like looks behind him like he's gonna get stabbed.
I don't buy it. Continue.
I'm so sorry that you had to spend your last moments here.
I thought about what Rosa had said and kind of jumped down your throat. Unfair. I was just concerned considering this was quite the catastrophe, but thankfully, thanks to the 11th hour, they salvaged it. So, just a little concern, and obviously for my daughter's safety as well.
Oh, yes, that's understandable. What else do you want?
Right. Appreciate your candidness. Well, I just wanted to discuss what the plans are for making it up to various families that have donated a lot to your school, and most importantly, to families that have been directly harmed. I mean, take, for example, the Pure Girl. Like, her brain is still a little scrambled up to my understanding. Are there going to be any steps taken to alleviate that?
Well, obviously I'll speak with the council. Once I have been reinstated, if that is to be the case. But I do understand if I am, ousted.
Right.
I mean, I feel like action would definitely be taken lest you be faced with a class action lawsuit.
Exactly. And we, the Hessives, are more than happy to help where we can. Just remember that, sir.
Okay. Much appreciated. Is there anything else that you wanted from me?
I was just curious, what was it that was in there? Rosie wasn't exactly, open about the details, and I was curious if you could expand on that. Or actually, well, I mean, since you four are here, if you could elaborate on that.
Maze looks to Doopsy. I don't know. How much are we allowed to tell people who aren't really involved in the matter?
Yeah, is it like a need-to-know basis, or...?
I feel like that would be more, Pride Lionheart's prerogative. I feel like at this point in time, Mr. Hessive, I think for the safety of everyone, we will keep those details classified for now, but when we have approval from Sir Lionheart, we will inform you. I feel like that's the best course of action here.
I'd like to point out that time slows in Redpath's brain as he sees another timeline in which Oleander meets Yotis and goes, "Fuck yeah, I'll work with you." He just woos. Oh no.
Oleander points his cigarette at Doopsy. And that is exactly the kind of answer I was hoping to hear. Makes me more confident that you could have your seat back in the future.
Oh, thank you. We try our best to ensure the safety of our students, but magic can be very dangerous.
Oh, I'm well aware. I mean, with my great-grandparent, Briony, wild, but it does lead to progress, so. Right. What you kids need to talk to Doopsy about? I'll listen.
Well, we came here for, I suppose you would call this a wellness check. How are you feeling, Mr. Doopsy?
Oh, so sweet of you. I'm
Please
doing
be
well.
honest.
Oh, well, I have not been sleeping exceedingly well.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot of nerves, to be sure. And I've just had a lot on my mind. Not going to the academy, it's the first time I've missed a day in the time I've been at the school. And I've been lounging a lot because I don't know what to do.
Don't you think the students and the faculty would be happy to see you?
Maybe. I don't know.
Show them. I'm sure you have mixed feelings because of your position in the events, but to be honest, I think they'd probably all feel very reassured to see you back at work and taking it in stride, and for you to go around.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to add on to that. That's probably a very good idea because I know people were quite upset about the fact that Miss Delato was nowhere to be found. So maybe it would be a good idea if you just said, "Hello, I'm here. This is how things are going."
Oh, that's a very good idea. Oh, yes, the people need to know that Doopsy is doing fine.
and sorry, continue, Dia, if you had something else. Sorry.
No, it was pretty much my idea. I know, especially given that people were all scattered around and some people got hurt, and not everyone was there when we got out, and we talked in front of the university. If I were a student or a faculty member who wasn't there when it all went down and I hadn't seen you myself, I would be worried that something had happened to you and word just hadn't gotten around yet.
Indeed. I think for the most part, the academy is not exactly full with students.
Yeah, there's been some modifications since Ami took over. She's suggested that the children, anyone younger than 18, have an extended break until security's back in tip-top shape and the facility has been fully cleansed of something she didn't care to clarify.
That's sensible.
Yeah, so you might find some faculty, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as packed as you might expect.
No, even so, I think anyone who's there would probably feel strange if indeed you haven't missed a day in so long. An academy without Doopsy would feel conspicuously empty for that reason as well.
You see his eyes welling up.
It's very sweet of you. You're right. I need to get back there. I need to stop moping around. I'm a gosh darn headmaster.
Not right now.
Temporary not, but I will return to my post, my perch, if you will. It's necessary.
And to be honest, from how people speak about you and how I've seen them talk to you, I don't think the people there respect you because you are the headmaster. I think they respect you as a colleague and an instructor and a friend. And so I don't think that change in title is going to mean a darn thing to them.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. You're right.
He, stands up. It doesn't really change anything, quite frankly.
Yes, I'd like that very much. Okay. When shall we go on our grand adventure back home?
Well, I could go for a hoagie, and Oleander's generously agreed to pay, so I would be up for maybe getting some lunch to go.
Yeah, it seems reasonable enough. I'm a pretty busy fellow myself, and I've more or less gotten what I needed out of this. Just, let them order what they want. Put it on my tab. Whatever. Right, and he goes through and gets everyone's orders. And brings it all back for you guys, all bundled up nicely. And when this guy leaves, Doopsy looks down.
Oh, I didn't get my soda.
Hey, where's his Coke?
Shut the
You will.
You. Come on, you spent thinking of that one.
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm more entertained by the idea of Doopsy drinking a soda and having like a little straw and then just bouncing.
Right, so let me grab Doopsy because he's now a part of your party. Oh, he doesn't
Doopsy,
have the
yeah.
hat.
Removed.
He doesn't have
Dead.
the hat. Yeah. So where? Oops, I bumped my mic. Where at the academy would you like to be? Do you want to go like straight back into the his office? Do you want to?
Has there been any places we haven't seen?
we were
You've
pretty
more or
thorough.
less seen the academy. I mean,
Okay.
there's some parts that are more active than others. I mean, like the wizard, fighting pit isn't super commonly used, but it does crop up occasionally. There's all the side libraries and some of the main study halls, for example, where like Amaranth teaches.
I mean, we can just go to his office because that's close in proximity to our ulterior motive.
Yeah,
Sure.
that sounds good.
Absolutely. Outer library. This map is a chunky boy, so I apologize for the
It
loading.
runs a lot better than when it was all one, though.
Yup. I'll switch up the music a little bit. Where's my? Yeah, Doopsy leads the way with his little cane while he's riding it and wheels in. And you see that when he gets into his office, he sets his cane against the table and then climbs up the ladder to get in his nice little seat.
Oh, how does
well,
it feel?
Oh, it feels very nice to be back in my little chair. It's actually a very big chair, but I can sink right in.
And you see him just kind of like flop backwards and fluff his feathers up.
Oh dear. Yes, and it was nice to see a lot of the students again.
And as you guys walk through, you notice that Doopsy was a little nervous. Just because, like, a lot of shit happened. People did get hurt. No one died, but...
Right.
But they saw Doopsy, like, oh, hey! And then they see you guys, like, oh, 11th, I'm so glad you have a name now. God, I had no idea to call you people.
Yes, we're
those
glad
guys.
we have that too.
You did also notice while passing the enchantment room, there's one guy who's like, you don't understand. I need to find the snow globe. I don't know where it went. I need it.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, that's
I need
ours.
it. The exams are tomorrow. What does that have to do with it? Nothing.
Nothing. Shut up, pushes him.
Fucking
Fucking
Right.
So,
Yes.
You know, while we're here, actually, I should, Dia takes out her pack. There were a few things that I commandeered while everything was going on, because I thought we might need them. I just want to give these all back. She's gonna set down the Staff of Fire and the Arcane Gem, which I think are the only two things that she had pocketed whilst we were going around.
Okay. Yeah, Doopsy takes them like,
Oh, that's completely understandable. Thank you so much for returning these.
Honestly, I felt a little bad about taking them in the first place, but it was an emergency. But always fully intended to not just run off with them and then never mention it again.
You know, honestly, there is actually a way I could pay you back, I think.
Oh.
I'm not exactly monetarily incredibly rich. It's just not really... I prefer the wealth of knowledge. Not the well of knowledge. That's bad. I've been workshopping how to get rid of it. I'll be honest. But we have some devices in our enchantment sector that amplify the enchantments of items. Now, I can't use it on all of your items, but if you each have one that you'd like to give a little boost, I'd be happy to provide it.
So, what this does, basically, out of game, you pick a magical item that you own, and you will instantly get an enhancement bonus on it. That's just no ifs, ands, or buts. So if it's already like, it does have a limit up to a like +3, just because Jesus Christ. But this means if you've got a ring of protection, it's now a ring of protection +2. If you've got a magical item that feels a little weak in its damage output and saves, it gets bumped up, and we will discuss what those increases are. This also applies to armor, like anything like that. So if you want something to get juiced up, this is Doopsy's little reward for making sure no kids got hurt and returning things that you took.
Ah. That's very, yeah, I really appreciate that.
Maze looks at the staff of fireballs and remembers the exact words where I went through a lot of trouble for this, please use it, which you did not.
Yeah, oops.
Hey, but you stealing it and then Dia returning it is getting us a bonus.
There is, yeah, that will help us a lot, and I really thank you for that. There is something else that would be helpful to us. And I don't want to presume, but while we were running around back here trying to deal with the situation, we did happen to find the forbidden section, and we only looked at stuff that was immediately relevant to solving the problem, but I would like to ask again if we might be allowed to look through it and for any information that could help us in our larger scale mission here.
Doopsy nods a couple times.
I feel like it would be ridiculous of me not to allow you access to the forbidden area of our library, mostly because you've already seen the portal to the abyss, and that seems like small peanuts right now.
Yeah, if you can
true.
surprise us with something worse in there, impressive. Well done.
I don't want to. But yes, I feel like that would be more than acceptable. And
he once again smiles.
I really appreciate you being so respectful about this. There is some information in there that is, that could be problematic. And honestly, I haven't even explored it all just because I was concerned that if I learned something that could be more to my specific interests, I might not be as conscientious about it. I might not think too far ahead.
Yeah, I understand. I understand temptation.
Yes, you do. Your Addis in your mind.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Right. Okay. Let's go. Would everyone like to go to the forbidden part of the library?
Like puts his hands out very expressively.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
And he once again plops on down. He gets his little cane. And instead of wheeling around, he actually decides to just walk with it and click, 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 click. It's definitely slower, but it seems like it's mostly to not like get caught on carpet or like lose control and smash into a book.
After you.
Much appreciated.
I mean, honestly, I'm really impressed that you guys were able to find my super secret passages.
It was no small task.
Yeah, there was like 3 layers of secrets to get here.
I'm kind of amazed I found it myself.
Oh, very impressive. It means we'll have to raise security.
Means we'll have to raise the DC.
Well, I can't beat a natural 20, so I don't know what you want.
Oh,
Humble grumble GM Matt.
No, not me. This is a bit. This is a bit. I loved it. It was great because we got to see a lot more of my dungeon. So,
Fucking
Doopsy-
dark vision.
should we maybe mention to him that it's don't let Oleander in there under any circumstances? Like, I feel like that should like really be stressed.
I don't see why he would in the first place, but
Hey,
yeah, if
Doopsy, did you have any plan of letting Oleander anywhere near here?
Oh, no.
Good.
Oh, thank God.
I won't deny Amaranth, strictly because she is, well, she's going to be my temporary replacement,
Mhm.
and I trust Amaranth implicitly.
Yeah, I don't think Amaranth has any would be likely to let Oleander in here either.
Yes, that's why I trust her implicitly. But,
Well, really appreciate it. I think there's still mysteries about this city's past that are very relevant right now, and
oh,
I think this might clear up some of those questions.
all right. Well, have at it. If you don't mind, I will remain here, as sort of a supervisor. It's not a thing of me not trusting you. It's just
If we have any
This-
questions, that sort of thing.
for questions, and there's just some weird stuff.
Yep. Understand.
Oh,
Did
by
you
the
need
way,
something, Nash, or are we just cramped?
Yeah, I think just small
oh, I'm
area.
sorry.
Okay.
No, I'll scoot.
Yeah. We've got
Tell you
one column per person.
Oh, don't worry.
Doopsy flies up to the top of the shelves and, like, very casually, like, there's a bunch of bits and baubles, like, hanging off on the top. Like, there's some weird skulls and there's other glass orbs and things of the sort. And he very carefully moves around them like a little cat.
All right. Well, have at it. Enjoy.
All right.
So, what do you want to try and find?
Yeah, Nash comes over and is like, if you show me where to look for, maybe can help, but
Oh,
otherwise can't. Basically just looking for show him some keywords so that he can look at the spines of the book, but he ain't gonna do no reading.
So you can like recognize the shape of the word and be like,
Yeah. Just so
Yeah.
he can help find the knowledge, but, you know, it's your guys' job to actually internalize it.
Makes sense. We can have a study group. Okay. Well, I think the first and most important thing, like what we were kind of originally looking around in the library for, is just some kind of clarification about the history of Leviara vis-a-vis Blackthorn, because there's all these little blanks left behind in what his motivations were, what actually happened to him and the other people directly involved, and why he might have just fucked off to his house and then stayed there for centuries. That kind of stuff. The kinds of things that I have in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, and there's going to be some things that you'll be able to track down, and other things that might be a little more difficult, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I
Here. I'm also. Yeet.
Guess to kind of pair with that, Redpath would be looking for any vampire knowledge.
Vampire knowledge. All right.
Yeah, so like if Dia's looking specifically at like the history of Leviara and how it pertains to Blackthorn and you know the Night of Fire or whatever the hell it was called, Redpath will be kind of looking in to see if there's any direct like vampire related history with Leviara besides that, like if there were any like obviously any known vampire hunters, but then if there were any other vampires throughout history, maybe even before Blackthorn or yada yada.
Okay. Yeah, so this will probably be, I guess history is probably the best course of action for all of these. And again, because you are in the near the Well of Knowledge, even though it went cuckoo bananas for a little bit there, it does still provide its benefit of +4 on knowledge checks.
I have knowledge local. Does that count?
You know what? Yes, actually.
Wahi!
I think that would still play a part in this. Like,
So-
Sorry, man. All I got is knowledge nature. most you could get out of me is maybe a book on the Feywild.
Yeah, no, that could help them.
I mean, honestly, so your nature check would play a part heavily in learning about the Wandering Woods. If there were
Oh
any
yeah, that is a
details
good
you want.
thing to learn about. And then I guess I'll roll history for my query, if that sounds reasonable.
Okay. So, cool. 23 for the Wandering Woods, and that is going to be with a +4 on top of that, like a 37, correct?
Everyone but Redpath managed.
He still has a headache from earlier. He's like, I'll read a book.
The 33 is with the +4 incorporated for.
Yeah, I have my +4.
Yeah,
in
mine's
too.
added
I don't
in
have
there.
a +8.
I
God.
accidentally had a +5.
We all fucked up.
Y'all fucked up. I'm also just like flipping through my notes very quickly to find a specific detail. For you, Redpath, if you want, you can request Doopsy to help you with your specific check.
Okay.
So let's see here. What were you looking for specifically?
He's specifically looking into like if there's any like vampire lore aside from like the bonfire and the stuff directly related with Blackthorn, like if there were other vampires in history throughout.
Okay, so I will roll his history check. Okay. D20 plus 24 plus... Yeah, because he's also got the knowledge. Ah!
Polar opposite.
Cool.
Excuse me, sir, could you help? I have a headache today and I don't want... I forgot my glasses at home.
Oh, no.
I can't see the board.
Oh, dear, yes, I'd be happy to assist you with this. Just a moment.
Just looks in your eyes. Beams
Ah!
into your brain.
Hypno-Doopsy.
Trying to find... Where is this? I'm looking for one specific detail.
Control F.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and it's not popping
By all means,
up.
take your time. We'll just talk about books.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Mm.
Where the fuck is that?
I like these leather-bound ones. It really lets you feel like you're not reading a book, you're reading a grimoire.
Why do you want to read a grimoire?
What
Aren't
difference?
they just evil by nature?
Yeah, but it's like...
No, it's just a cool
about the
sounding word.
temptation. It's
You
about
can-
like the romantic nature of it.
You can
Come
write a
on.
grimoire about, I don't know, peppers.
Ugh.
How old was everybody when you learned how to read? Nash, of course.
Good.
You're still learning.
All right, good. Okay, I did find it. It took me
Thank
longer than I
goodness.
wanted to. I think we'll start off with some of the lower rolls first, just for the sake of like
Build
you
it
know.
up.
not even just building it up, but it's like, well, we'll start there and we'll go up from there. So, for like the Wandering Woods, the things that you quickly learn about it is that the Wandering Woods they aren't full on like a Fey forest, but it has a lot of Fey enchantment happening there, which like a lot of people theorize might involve having possibly a rift crystal that is connected to the Feywilds, which, as you guys are aware from talking with Jasper, is kind of a big deal for druid circles. So does that mean there's a circle in there? Not sure. The Wandering Woods is also home to an entity known as the Weaver. They are a witch, and witches work in a very particular way. Witches are always defined by how they cast their spells. In this case, the Weaver casts their spells through thread and clothing and things of the sort. It's known that the Weaver had a habit of giving gifts to people of either beautiful cloaks, lovely shirts, enchanting dresses, and they would provide benefits to them in multiple different ways. Some of them just make them more charismatic, or maybe even just give them more confidence magically. However, if they did not abide by very simple instructions, such as if you were given a dress to impress someone, as long as you didn't backtalk someone or talk down to another person, the enchantment would continue and it wouldn't turn you ugly. Things like that. Witches can be benevolent, but they normally have very strict instructions. In the reading, though, you find that there is a possible connection between the Weaver and the Tarlins. And the Tarlins were the individuals that originally owned the Blackthorn Manor, going into local with Maze. The Tarlins have more or less been wiped off the face of the map. We're aware of this at this point. But with the forbidden knowledge that's in here, you're able to track down that the Tarlins likely made a deal with the Weaver in some capacity. Doesn't go into deep specifics, mostly because probably bad form to just let anyone know that you've made a deal with a witch.
Right.
And is the reason that the Tarlins were able to cut down trees in the Wandering Woods and use them for their various buildings and structures like that, because the lumber there it's enchanted. I mean, it's incredibly useful for making bows and arrows or tools and things, or just buildings in general. The Tarlins were your lumberjacks, they were your construction folks, and they were the sort, digging through further, they were kind to the public, but behind doors, they were making really shady deals, and to the point where they were kind of manipulating Leviara in a multitude of factors. However, this changed thanks to a 33 and then a 48 talking about the history. This changed when, at one point, some of the family members of the Tarlin family had gotten a little too big for their britches and stirred trouble with some of the fey creatures in the forest. This resulted in them getting a magical disease of sorts. And when this happened, they needed to call upon someone to help them. And their best course of action for aid was from the Blackthorns. And the reason being is that the parents of the Blackthorn family were Ezekiel and Zia. And they had a daughter named Ruby. And Ruby had this incredible ability to just fix any sickness. Like, there were talks of this individual being able to restore limbs. There were talks of them being able to just fix flesh without any consequence. And the Tarlin family very quickly sort of made a deal with them, being like, hey, why don't you live on our property? Why don't you stay with us for a while and be our personal doctor? And as it became more clear how much power this Ruby girl had, they were like, oh, well, why don't we just sell her skills as well? And obviously Ezekiel and Zia were not pleased with that concept, and they tried to leave. And it gets a little hazy in the details what happened during that exit, but it seems like the Blackthorn family was able to escape. And many, many years later, an individual, a young man known as Astrophel Blackthorn, returned to the estate and wrecked their shit. Went in and just made a goddamn mess. And overnight, the Tarlin family disappeared and the Blackthorns took control. And a lot of people were kind of content with this change and more or less let it slide. Mostly because, yeah, the Tarlins weren't stellar. And the Blackthorn family was very much like, tell you what, you do you, we'll do us, leave us alone. And that was kind of that. Looking through for more details, the name Meredith Redwood pops up. Turns out that she was a very, very well-known individual in this school, but it was more out of infamy. She was one of the few students that during this very religious time was very vocal about the possibility of using necromancy for positive effects. This included finding spells that would allow you to speak with the dead, or even possibly a safe form of resurrection. And one of her very wild theories was the revenant idea. Can you bring a revenant back and prevent them from having hate and instead give them love. Because apparently Meredith had lost a lot of family, and she'd known too many people that had lost family during a war that was happening around this time. Or not a full-on war, but like a conflict. And she felt that was unfair, that these soldiers would perish for nobles and the government, and then that was that. They'd get maybe a name on a stone, and the families would continue to weep at their loss. This didn't sit well with anybody at the academy, especially because she was so pushy about it, until she bumped into a handsome gentleman known as Astrophel Blackthorn, who thought the concept was rather intriguing and was willing to negotiate more about it. And the two came together, and Blackthorn actually made a lot of donations to the academy, funding various things, and not just Meredith's work. It was for other students as well, but they all aligned with her similar concepts, studying the soul, studying the cycle. One thing that catches your attention is there was also a very heavy study on magical disease that was very heavily funded by Blackthorn. And most importantly, the manipulation of disease. Some other details that crop up looking through this is, there was a time where Meredith's studies went really, really far, and she became very, very vocal that she thought that the undead should be a part of regular society, defending vampires. Thing that looks interesting to you, if you look through notes that are like well before the Veritas Legion, like attacks and things like that, we're talking like 50 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
There is no discussion of vampires. It's like they don't exist. But then like the half century before the Veritas Legion thing crops up, they're talked about. So there's a small window where maybe that's where they popped up.
Yeah, well, that would align with the idea that Blackthorn was the progenitor of vampirism.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the dates associated with here, do we have a sense of the timeline here of when Blackthorn came back and did away with the Tarlans versus when Meredith was active, or how long they were known to be working together before like all the witch burning bullshit happened?
Yeah. So kind of the timeline that you're seeing here is like 50 years before the Veritas Legion stuff. Like this is a countdown to the Veritas Legion, like kicks off, everyone's getting killed, it's bad. 50 years beforehand, Tarlans get wiped out. Mm-hmm. They just disappear. Let's see, that would have been about 20 years or so before the Veritas Legion thing fully kicks off is when Meredith comes into the picture, and where she's really getting vocal about vampires should maybe start to be acclimated to society. We just need to find out what those needs are. Religious folks did not like that, especially considering like she had brought a couple of vampires into the city as like a form of not protest, but a like, see, we can get along.
Sit-in.
A sit-in almost. Things escalated, but it was not by the vampires. It was by the religious nut jobs that were present. And vampires got wiped out, but not before the vampires wrecked a lot of people, because they're vampires. But they did finally nab Meredith. They strung her up and they just lit her on fire. Now, before anything could really go too much further than this, Blackthorn appeared. And he pulled her off the fire, and he healed her right there from near death to full health, like nothing had happened. And he was ready to turn everyone to goo, and she told him no. And then they left, and people did not see those two again for years, until you guys know that Meredith had been captured by the Ebon Ward.
And as far as we know, her story ended with her being anonymously resettled somewhere and just not being heard from again, right?
That's as much as you guys know. Even looking through this, the history of where Meredith went after that situation, because obviously the Ebon Ward doesn't get brought up, but they're like, yeah, there were sightings of her in Errol, with 2 children, and then at that point, no one knows where they went.
And there's and that was also the last time anyone saw Blackthorn.
Correct.
Did they? Maybe the account's not this specific, but does it indicate whether they left together after he got her off the fire?
Yes, they left together, and from what everyone can tell, he returned with her back to the Blackthorn Manor, and after that point, the Wandering Woods were unmanageable. There was no way to get back through. So,
Okay.
I will also say, with a 48, because Jesus Christ, thanks to Doopsy, Doopsy finds something that's very interesting. The black, he points out that there were a few other Academy members that were very well known, and one of them was known as Parthena Veritas. She was the sort of individual who was way ahead of the curve of how to make the best arcane stuff. I mean, she's the one that developed some far more improved bags of holding. She led the way on like staff design so they could hold more than just a couple of spells. Like,
She's the Gucci Louie.
she's the Gucci Louie. And also a young gentleman by the name of Des Veritas. It turns out the Veritas family were human for a very long period of time and attended this academy and did a marvelous job. But at some point, they were turned. And most importantly, a detail crops up that after you looking at the timelines, there was a snafu between the Tarlins and the Blackthorns. And that's when the Blackthorns left. And then, eventually Blackthorn came back and wrecked their shit. In that time frame, though, before Blackthorn returned, Parthena and Des were requested to aid the Tarlins in their home. And the details are very scant there. Based on the timeline, they would have been human for sure at this time.
And prior to in the time when it was the 2 adults and Ruby Blackthorn, there was no record of Astrofel Blackthorn being present at that time.
Correct.
Okay.
About
how long passed between when they fucked off and when Astrofel came back?
Not an immense amount of time, actually. It was a little under a decade when the Blackthorn family left, where it was Zia, Ezekiel, and Ruby. And then a little under a decade later, an Astrofel Blackthorn arrived.
Okay, and I assume he was not 10 years old or younger at that time.
No.
So it would not presumably be the case that he was another kid of the family who was born after they left.
Seems like a safe assumption. Yeah. Looking at the ages as well that's mentioned here, when Ruby and the rest of her family left the Tarland estate, Ruby was about 14, 15, probably.
Mm-hmm. And is there an indication of how old Astrofel looked, at least, when Astrofel first showed up?
With a 48, I'll give you. It's mentioned that Astrofel was probably early 20s.
Okay. Interesting. Well, it doesn't answer all the questions, but
you know what it does tell you?
Yeah?
It tells you that nobility's been stupid forever.
Yeah.
I didn't need a book to tell me that.
Yeah, but sometimes you just need to be reminded, right? You need the reassurance that it's not just a product of your era.
Well, this certainly supports the idea that maybe Blackthorn hasn't been actively scheming revenge against Leviara this whole time. It seems possible that Meredith genuinely convinced him not to, and they decided to seclude themselves forever instead. Although why she then left to go do, everything else, it's probably something at this point only Blackthorn could answer.
I imagine she was probably pretty ashamed.
I'm so, weird to bring this up now that we've been studying together for like 2 hours. You seem to have a very deep interest in the Veritas Legion and Blackthorn. Do you intend to visit the manor?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you for your honesty.
Yes, we're trying at the moment to... We've got an arrangement with Amaranth Hessive that if we're able to accomplish a seemingly impossible task in the city, then we can put ourselves up against the seemingly impossible task of getting through the Wandering Woods.
And then also getting through to Astrofel Black.
And then getting through Astrofel's Manor, and getting to Astrofel. Really, there's a lot of things that have to go right now that I'm saying it out loud, but that's our intention.
Oh, well, like the books that Nash was able to locate, I would be careful as well because the Wandering Woods also have fairies, which aren't exactly actively dangerous but can be mischievous. There is also a theater. Do not approach the theater.
Theater?
Oh.
Built
Yes.
by Fae, or...
Built by the Tarlans?
Shrugs.
I'm not entirely certain, but to my understanding there is a theater out there that, if you are caught up in the excitement of a show, you may not get to leave.
That sounds like Fae, all right.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Okay.
We've already had an evil theater arc, so I think we'll be fine.
Oh dear.
Yes, but we find ourselves near another theater again, and now it's 2 theaters in one city. Or
Huh? True.
That's some fierce competition.
they're converging.
Right. Well, I hope this has been helpful. I must admit there's a lot of information here that is remarkably startling.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Veritas...
revisionism does that.
Well, I mean, just the fact that the Veritas wasn't originally just a military force, it was just a family that then expanded into this, well, military group. It's bizarre.
I mean, everything has to start somewhere.
I suppose so. So curious.
Yes, I'd be curious to know exactly what the 2 Veritas people who went to the Tarland estate did, or what their relationship ended up being between them and the Tarlands and Astrofel
you-
Blackthorn.
Consider they showed up once, or I guess they filled in the cracks that the Blackthorns left. What might their role have been then? Same thing?
Difficult to say. While there's a lot of information here that is certainly, answers a few questions, it makes more, quite frankly.
Yeah, a lot of room for conjecture, which historically doesn't get us very far.
Indeed.
I don't suppose there's any records, given that they were students here, that would give us any information about Parthena or Des Veritas from way back when?
Oh, that's a great idea. I feel foolish for not even thinking that.
I was gonna ask, but I felt like that was like breaching some sort of like personal security risk or something,
I mean, at this point...
They're
the
long
Lord-
dead, yeah, but
Well, dead-ish.
well, one.
Yeesh.
I'm not sure about... Well, Des is. Parthena is a slightly more complex story, but she will certainly never interact with the world again.
I see. All right.
I'm gonna have
Weird
Doopsy-
that you know that.
Oh, fucked up.
I'm gonna have Doopsy. I think I'll have Doopsy actually do. This is more of a perception check because this is searching through records because it's not even like knowledge. It's just.
Oh, you
seeing
know
it.
what? I can do that. I can help him with that. I can get
That's great because
Yeah.
here, let
Here.
me roll for Doopsy.
I'll cast skim, so that Red Path can fucking zoom through shit.
Oh no, Doopsy has a -1 perception, but he's got those owl eyes.
That's how
That's how they
creatures
snuck up on
get
him.
him. Yeah.
He had no
This is my
idea.
bonus with the owl's wisdom.
Alright. Hang on, just 1 second. Let me see. I don't know if it gives me any
Doopsy, mad,
bonus.
smart, and charismatic, but he got no whiz.
Double checking here.
Don't worry, I'll use my wizard perception check. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Slightly better.
The dice are acting a little weird for some of the numbers. I don't know if anyone else is having that.
It's looking normal on my end.
Okay, that's all
So,
that matters.
this is, so this is weird. It's up to you whether or not this is going to work. If the text is fragmented, is partially difficult to understand, or otherwise requires an ability check, such as linguistic checks, doesn't directly increase your reading speed, but instead grants you a +8 bonus on the check. It doesn't say what kind of check. So would that count for perception?
The check would be the relevant check in question.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright, okay.
I'd
so
allow that.
+8 on this shit.
Okay.
The
Okay.
headache is gone.
So, digging through, Doopsy's just too slow, and very politely you kind of scoot him out of the way. And you find the details on Des Veritas and Parthena Veritas. They were siblings. And Parthena's focus was mostly on Dilly-Doo, the arcane and alchemy, while her brother was focused on the divine. And the two collaborated all of the time to find the benefits and work past the cons of their magic types. And they came together to make some pretty bonkers stuff. And looking at the timeline again, their time at the academy was like at least 30 years before Meredith showed up and got involved with the academy. So there's a huge time gap between the two. But there is talk of where Des was head of his class when it came to learning about divination, transmutation, and Dooley-Doo. Drawing him like abjuration. And his focus was more or less on, is there a way to transfer or control the flow of souls? Now, obviously, this was a touchy topic, but Des had a silver tongue, and he was able to convince people that this was mostly an opportunity to understand the gods. You get the feeling that he played the role of being this like very holy person, but didn't believe a fucking thing about it, and just
man
used
after
it.
my own heart.
Yeah. Parthena, on the other hand, was fascinated with evocation, conjuration, and a few other schools, and necromancy as well, but she didn't advertise that one nearly as much. And it was all about, how can we be superior? How can we move humanity forward? Because there's even a couple of journals left behind that are really, really old. Like, you have to be so delicate with them. And you see, it's Parthena's handwriting. Like, you know it at this point. And interestingly, as you flip through the book, it's also Des's handwriting. It was a journal they worked on together. And it's interesting because there's a couple of points where, like, something will be scribbled out and it'll be like, dear sister, I think you mean this. And like, and it's just like,
No.
It's like how Jello and Plaster wrote Sweaty Angle together.
yeah, a little bit. And so it goes very in depth about the studying of how to get humans to the next level and prevent death. Is there a way that if you were to control the souls and the flow of them, could you instead move, like if a soul was about to pass on, could you instead move it to another one that's either unconscious, near death, or something of the sort? And again, all of this is very controversial, but they kept on going like, but wouldn't it be amazing if the head priest could be the voice of our god for years to come? And like all this hogwash, and everyone's like, yes, that would be wonderful.
I see. Des himself was no stranger to the paid actor hype man. Yeah, Des.
Yeah, you said it.
Des has got it. And it also shows that Parthena had an expertise in the understanding and curing of diseases. Like, just a total whiz at it.
Mm.
Well, that explains why she got invited to the manor.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else in particular you're looking for specifically for these two siblings?
Well, if Doopsy will allow it, Dio would like to add that the relevant stuff from Dessa's notes to the ones that she got from the Fredaccio's house secret basement.
Absolutely.
Augment my Veritas spirit notes.
Is there any indication that they had known Blackthorn himself, or?
Based on, it's hard to gauge here specifically, just because of like the timeline, because it looks like they, based on the timeline, it looks like Des and Parthena would have graduated from the academy by the time the Tarlins called upon the Veritas family to help them. So unfortunately, that bit of information is not fully present, but I mean, maybe. Doopsy.
Yeah, because like if there might have been any mention of Blackthorn's name in their journals or anything, but the timeline doesn't really match up there.
Well, not Astrophels.
No.
I guess it's possible they could have mentioned the OG, like Ruby or the Blackthorns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what Doopsy does is he's like,
Well, I can't let you have the book, the journals themselves, but I am able to do this.
and he pulls out what looks like a small shot glass. It's very similar to what Amaranth has to like audibly play books for her.
Mm-hmm.
And he very gently drags it across the paper, so very elegantly, because these papers are so old and they're basically ready to just turn to dust. And then he pulls out another piece of paper and then drags it across, and it is perfectly copied.
Ooh.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, of course. I hope that's acceptable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
I'll put this with these.
But of course, before I hand these to you, this is very delicate information. Like, I'll be real, I don't fully comprehend this, but I can tell this much. This is not good, but I trust you. Just please make sure you are cautious who you trust it with.
Well, I hadn't planned to spread it around. There's just one particular person that I might be able to help with this.
Very well. Well, is there,
Thanks, really.
Oh, thank you. This has been exhilarating. Very few times when I am asked upon for my expertise in studying that it devolves into possibly the manipulation and alteration of man's evolution.
Souls and, yeah.
Yeah, so
it's heavy.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it makes the Well of Knowledge seem kind of lame, huh?
Like wiggles his front wing.
I don't know about that, but it certainly seems less dangerous because it isn't actively harming us, but knowledge
Well,
Well, it'll only actively harm us if we choose to do anything with the information.
yeah,
Or
I'm doing
sip the
stuff
goo.
with it, so.
Yes, indeed. But, yes, well, is there anything else that I can do for you?
To be honest, there is one other thing, but I don't know if I should even ask for it.
I mean, we're already pretty knee-deep in
I
this
suppose
stuff.
we are, yeah. The creature on the other side of the portal in there is actually an acquaintance of ours, believe it or not.
Oh, yes, you did bump into him, didn't you?
It really was like bumping into somebody at the market.
Wait, hold on. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. I know that you found him, like, the other day.
No, I mean from before.
What?
I know, right? What are the odds?
Crazy! Small world!
You open a portal to the abyss and it's like, God damn, it's just Frank again. Yeah, no one was more surprised than us. We were in there looking for clues about the creatures infesting the library, and he just tapped on the glass like, "Hey, what's going on, friends?" Anyway, there is actually something that I would like to talk to him about, but I understand why you might be hesitant to do that.
Redpath looks up at Dia over the shelf. Excuse me?
Yeah, you know what the situation that I'm in. There's information that we pretty much know that Yodis has that, context has changed, and now it's suddenly staggeringly important to me.
He just opens and closes his mouth a few times.
Dear, you do remember that guy despises us? We just re-established that last time we talked to him.
I thought he was pretty personable the last time we talked to him, actually. Like, surprisingly so, considering how we parted before.
Yeah, I'm under the impression that he's willing to collab again.
He literally gutted the personality of his assistant out of rage for us.
What?
I know. There's not really anything that you or I can do about that now, though, is there?
No, not terribly. It's just, that's sort of the root of my hesitance for any continued communication with him. You can do what you want, but, thoroughly leave me out of it.
Dia, before you jump in the deep end, just let me ask what your security rope here would be. What would you even have to offer him?
I really...
Because you're so bad about that. You're so bad about giving away more than you have.
To be honest, I don't know what he'd be likely to want besides... He's fascinated by the most random, arbitrary things, even things that seem mundane to us. I don't want to give him anything that he can use in any way that is dangerous to anyone. That's where I would intend to draw the line, if that answers your question. But I feel like I'll regret if I don't even ask whether he knows anything. I feel like I will regret that decision later. Especially if it means that things end poorly for me or for Addis.
Give me a diplomacy check. Doopsy is happy to accommodate, but
Big ask.
It's a lot to, and he trusts you. Like, that can't be stressed enough. But it's still talking with a daemon that even he does not choose to speak with, as you are well aware.
Hasn't he watched the hit show Everybody Loves Damon?
No. He doesn't have cable.
Fuck. All right, here is my diplomacy. I'm shockingly bad at rolling diplomacy, no matter how good my modifier ever gets.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Doopsy just kind of nods.
I'm very sorry, Dia. I understand how important this is to you, but I don't even want to be in the same room as that creature. While I'm very confident that he cannot interact with us directly from where he is, he has a silver tongue, and based on the small little bit I've heard here, I'm very concerned how far you'd be willing to go.
I won't lie, I'd be willing to go far, so if that is a deal breaker for you, then I don't really have a choice other than to accept your decision.
It's not fun to say no to people, especially when they want to learn, but take it from me, dear. There's just some things we shouldn't know about.
She doesn't say anything. She kind of like gives a little nod and looks away because the expression on her face is one of profound disagreement with that sentiment.
Yeah, you can hear Addis just like take a deep sigh.
Right. Well, if everyone is ready, I'll probably continue perusing the academy. Oh, unless you wanted those enchantments, but they don't have to be today if you need to think on it, or if you're getting anything new.
Yeah, I'll need to think on it.
If it's all right, I've kind of grown rather fond of the gem that I placed within my weapon that we may have lifted from your office. I'd kind of just like to keep that if it's all the same.
Gem from my... Oh, that thing! Oh, it was done! Lovely! Well, I mean, if it's serving you well, I can't argue with that.
I mean, I'd love something in addition to that if you're willing to give it, but I wouldn't ask if you feel it's equivalent.
Cheeky.
Taps his chin and thinks,
Well, you did return the other things. I'm happy to give that. Yes, if you want to get another little enchantment boosty, yes, why not?
That's
Red
much
Path
appreciated.
entirely not mentioning the book that he took out without asking.
yeah, the book of jokes.
Yeah, the book of jokes and well,
No,
I mean,
he's talking about the fucking her what is it called? Like the family tree book that he took before this shit went down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did.
We also lifted those
took the Jungle
blueprints.
Book.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the blueprints are like not hyper.
Fair game.
Yeah, the book of jokes though, that has like actual. I was gonna say cosmic level consequences. That's not correct.
It's got a lot of bad mojo though.
There's some bad mojo with it. And like a family tree book is like not all that critical. I will say a point of interest. I would say it's probably pretty easy to find a Tarlin family tree accompanied by a Blackthorn family tree and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tarlin family tree very suddenly ends the same year that the Blackthorn family tree ends with Ruby as the youngest, or I guess would be newest. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
The
Freshest.
last, yeah, the freshest, the last member of the Blackthorn family. Astrofel doesn't even get brought up.
All right. Well, I hope you settle in again here before too long, Doopsy.
Me too. If you need more assistance with anything, myself or Amaranth or any of our other teachers would be ecstatic for the opportunity to talk with such grandiose wizards.
Not a wizard.
Oh,
But you have a hat.
Yes, it's a chef's hat.
Boy, you're telling me you can't perform a little magic in the kitchen?
Oh,
well, he's got you there.
Hey.
Yes, I've got you.
Got you
Damon's
by the
not
ball.
the only one with a silver tongue. Also, I don't know who's gonna make the decision in the end of whether you'll return as headmaster, but I think something else you should know about that situation, which is that Oleander and several other people, for reasons entirely unrelated to your fitness to do this job, want to try and maneuver Amaranth into the headmaster's position. So if you start getting pushback from people and you sense that they're not being honest about their reasons, it's because they're not being honest about their reasons, and you should stand up for yourself, because it would not be fair for them to take advantage of this situation to try and deprive you of a job you clearly cherish so much.
And to make it clear, we don't know what their reason is currently. We're trying to investigate it, but slow going.
I see. Well, thank you very much for letting me know. I don't have a whole lot of muscle, but I'm sure I can be tough. I'll just puff out my chest and I'll shout, but not too loud.
I'm sure you'll
Nash
really
does
sell
not
it.
mention how much damage this bird did to him. The real amounts of damage this bird did to Nash.
Hey man, that's what happens when you're a pretty high level arcanist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh? Would you like a lift back to your office?
I think I'm actually going to be all right.
Okay.
I was probably just going to look around a little more.
I
Nothing
photosynthesize
nefarious.
through words in books. This is how I eat.
Mostly just out of curiosity, and because we had the intrusive thoughts, I feel like I should probably do a double check on things.
Make sure everything's shipshape in here.
Precisely. It's gonna take me a long time.
Do you even have an inventory of this room?
Kind of. Like wiggles a wing.
Like a little bit. It really just depends on previous spellcasters and headmasters, what they were writing down. Like, some do a good job, others no.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, but I don't need to start in here. I've been in here long enough. Starting to get a little cramped, honestly, I'm realizing how small this room is.
He like wiggles out and uses his cane to like open the door, and then immediately walks down into the corner, and you see him use his cane once again to bring a book down, and he's just like reading it, and you see him actually just like sit down, legs splayed out.
Oh,
Yeah, it is a little cramped in here. Do you guys want to hit the beach?
Hit the beach. I mean, I always want to hit the beach. Do we have time to hit the beach?
You probably do.
Yeah. Do we have anything else planned for the evening?
Well, shouldn't we check on Mr. The Hunch?
Surely he hasn't been processed by now, right?
No, and when Nash and I met with Mr. Rivaldi, he seemed like he was going to kick up a little bit of a stink about that, so...
Like, not enough to not do it, but enough to be like, ugh.
Enough to be like, oh, I'll delay the paperwork kind of thing.
Oh, nuts to that. I bet if we march down there and say that Pride authorized it and we're the 11th hour and we're great, that we can take
really
him
gonna
into our
ask
custody.
to speak with the manager about it?
Yeah. I don't like playing that card, but, clock is ticking.
I mean, if you want to kick up some dust about it, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. All right.
I guess
so
all
you
we
guys-
really need to do is, as long as he knows he's getting released, maybe he can give us the rest of the information.
All right. So you guys want to go to the Hushstone prison?
Yeah,
I
sure.
suppose so.
All right. Let's see here. Also, should we take a small break?
Yeah, I can make
Let's see.
tea.
Yeah, let's take a very, very small break. Let people stretch at the legs and things like that.
Yeah, sure.
I'll get some different music playing as well. No, don't move that entire playlist. Jesus God. Okay. Let's do this one. Yeah, and I'll move us over to the Leviara backdrop for now. Doopsy's gonna remain there, and you guys are gonna go to the Hushstone prison.
Woo.
Whoa!
For once, I don't have to take the midstream bathroom break. I feel fine.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ladder of
goodness.
steel over here.
Not bad, kid.
But you've still got a lot to learn.
Let's see here.
How you doing, chat? You guys having a good time?
Yeah, chat, how's it going?
There's 160 of you here.
Damn! Thank y'all.
Yeah.
And then Sleepy Time Tonberry subscribed for 52 months. Thank you so much.
Yeah, keep telling your friends.
Oh god, that's what the elevate your message button? No. Ugh.
Yeah. Yuck.
I saw a new button, I had to click it.
Ugh.
Bad. Horrible. Ugh.
I don't like it. No, I don't wanna.
I hate this new button.
Let's see here.
You love this stream? Well, that's good.
Love to hear it.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yippee!
Hey, Cast, what are your fave teas? All teas are terrible.
Oh.
Your fave, like, t-shirts?
No, like a drink.
Like the
Oh.
drink one.
I thought you meant teas, like T-E-E-S.
No.
Yeah, I don't really drink tea, even though it would absolutely fit in with my self-image. I just don't care for it.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to remember the one I like.
The only time I've enjoyed a cup of tea was when I had a cup of black tea alongside a sugar donut on a food tour in Japan, and that was the one time I was like, ah, okay, this is the right drink to pair with this, because it's the donut is sweet, and so this cuts through the sweetness a little bit, and it actually provides a good contrast. The problem was I finished the donut in the time it took me to drink about a quarter of the cup of tea, and then I was like, well, I don't want the rest of this.
Rip. I like vanilla chai. That's probably my favorite.
Vanilla chai is pretty good.
There's also, I have some like fruity flavors. I had an apple cinnamon that I liked a lot, but I can't find it anymore. But generally, I like to go for the more like sweeter stuff and less of the like leafy things.
My experience with tea is overwhelmingly... It's the same experience I have with coffee, but where coffee, it's this will always taste bitter. With tea, it is always this will either taste like chlorophyll or like dirt. Like, no matter what else it tastes like, that never goes away. So I just can't do it.
That's fair.
What about you, Will? Any thoughts on tea?
I think it's all right. I think mostly what it is, I just haven't found one that I really, really like.
I just like to drink water. I drink milk with meals sometimes. I drink soda sometimes if I'm at a restaurant, or I just drink water.
I drink water, but I'm never happy about it.
Yeah. Does your area have bad tap water?
That's not really the issue. I mean, yes, we just had to get lead pipes removed, but even bottled water, I'm never happy about it. I just don't like water.
Huh.
There's nothing about this to like.
I don't know how to
It
tell you this,
hydrates you.
but there's
Okay.
water in you right now.
There's
It
so many
hydrates
other
you,
things that hydrate.
Yeah, but water has no calories. You can drink it constantly with no repercussions other than peeing.
Mm-hmm.
You think I'm
do
counting
pee.
calories?
I don't know. I don't know your life.
Yeah, you never talk. You could learn so many things about me if you just asked me questions once in a while. Also, Sleepy
All right.
Time Tonberry,
I
thanks so much for
asked
all
you
the
a question
gifts.
just the other day, Lamp. I asked you what was the most vital implement for building a sandcastle.
This is true. You did do that.
That's sand, yeah?
I don't consider sand an implement.
Is sand an
in that
implement?
equation.
Yeah.
That
But I mean,
equation.
by all means, Will, make your case.
Can't have a sandcastle without sand.
Yeah, but is sand an implement?
That is
Do
a
you not
necessary.
implement it into the process?
I'd say it's more of a material.
Mm-hmm.
What are
Raw
materials?
materials. Implements are what you use to act on the raw materials to shape them into the form you desire.
I don't care.
Cold or warm water, Aram? Cold water. Usually not ice water. Ice water if in hot weather, but usually just... I keep a water filter in the fridge and pour glasses from that.
No, I'm the guy who, if a drink is supposed to be cold, I want that shit as cold as possible. I want thousands of ice cubes in it. I want it as cold as physically possible. Every drink, except for the hot ones. Those get to be
miss
hot.
me with that ice shit, my god. Ice melts and now my drink's been tainted with water.
Drink the drink!
I am drinking the drink!
Hold
If
on.
you drink...
I'm on Lamp's side on this one.
What is happening?
Oh
Ice
my god, if you just
actively ruins
drink the
drinks.
drink, it doesn't ruin it. Just drink it.
No.
Episode Ebon Ward, episode 100 and whatever. Miss me with that ice shit.
What is happening?
We're having beverage discourse. Thank God you're back. We can continue.
All right.
I have tea.
Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Viv has tea, bringing the discourse full circle.
I don't want to spill this tea.
Ha ha ha.
Ho, 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 ho. So yeah, you guys come walking in to the Hushstone prison. Well, actually, this guy's supposed to be here. He's on guard. And yeah, nothing too exciting immediately.
Hmm.
It's a prison.
Well, let's just do it then.
Why don't you take point? You were the one here last time.
That's true.
Yeah, what sort of character is he, Maze?
Oh, he's an interesting sort. I don't think anybody other than me would have any particular fondness for him, I'll be honest, but hello.
Oh, hello.
Hi. Has there been any official order yet to release the prisoners who were locked up on account of the unfortunate happenings down at the docks?
Ah, okay. So right now, Rivaldis talking with Mr. Lionheart about that, and I'm assuming it's going all right. Passive perception, Nash, you can hear like muffled yelling.
Sounds like it's going fine.
Yeah, like what direction is the muffled yelling coming from?
From the east.
God, I love these big, stupid men.
Yeah, there's a lot of big dumb men this adventure.
I see. Well, we're mostly curious about that because well, you know, it's important to our business. I don't suppose it would be wise for us to step in and say our piece, would it?
Nash shakes his head no to the side. No, what she says, Nash is shaking his head no.
I don't know if I should do that. It's not a thing of I don't believe you folks and whatnot. Like, you've already done a lot for our city. It's just I don't know how much authority you would have in this discussion.
No, that's a completely reasonable take.
Oh, thank you for being understanding. Good lord.
It should be stated that I can't imagine the Lawmaster would be too happy to see, I know, me again anytime soon, and by association, probably not you either.
Probably.
I don't know whether or not I burned my bridge, because I don't know if he recognized me when we met the other day or not. Still up in the air.
Well, if you...
That means Nash is our only hope. Get in there, babe. No.
Well, if you don't mind us milling around your lobby for a bit, we'll see.
Do you have a waiting room?
Yeah.
Welcome. She just gestures.
Yeah,
Why don't we-
can't imagine you would. It's a prison after all.
Why don't we talk to Lenny while we're waiting for the T's to be crossed and the I's dotted?
That much I think we can do. She looks back. Would you boys mind? Yeah, I'm on it. All right. And he heads on out. And then this fine Blue Jay comes on over. Do you all want to talk to him? Only a couple of you? Like, I don't really care either way. I just want to know what we're doing here.
If it's not a problem, we might as well stick together.
Yeah,
Hang on. I'm just real quick. Am I fucking crazy? Were these Blue Jays before? Or were these Keepers before?
They were always Blue Jays, I'm pretty sure.
My brain was like,
No, I think this is one of the only places that were
yeah,
primarily Blue Jay.
Well, they were Keepers before, but now that they've been replaced by Masquerade Goons, they're...
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I don't really know if the space will facilitate 4 people talking with him at once, I'll be honest.
I can imagine only 2 people would fit in at once, maximum.
He just kind of shrugs. I mean, you could stand behind someone. I mean, we could probably squeeze 2 chairs in and then 2 people stand behind. Like, it's not going to be comfortable, but you could do it.
I think Mace is lonely. I think he wants everyone to go with him.
If we just want to send 2, I can look at my nerd shit. I've got new stuff now. She whacked the bundle of papers she got as the copy.
Yeah, Nash, why don't you come with me? I feel like we were in similar space, and
yeah, we can. The 2 of us can wait out here so that we can, in case the discussion resolves, we'll know what came of it.
Yeah, I'm sure your perception will catch it.
Well, I imagine someone's gonna come into the lobby looking unhappy. I'm guessing.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll just pretend to be 2 new statues, and the angry men will walk right past us.
I mean, you've seen I have a spell that'll let me do that, but
I have a spell that'll let me do that.
Yeah.
I think we can start leaving them behind.
Yeah, no, just alright, bye.
Bye.
They start square dancing in the lobby.
Diego's like, bye, have fun.
Actually, come this way. I, as the GM, mixed up which room you should be in, because it makes 0 sense to have a prisoner come into the lobby and then go in.
That makes sense.
And it was just a fun joke.
No, I mixed that up. I was like, I was in the motor. Like, well, it'd be awkward if the guard was like, actually, could you go back outside?
That guy's fired now.
Yeah, you don't see him. He's not here anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, you guys, he just gestures like, yeah, you could just have a seat wherever.
Yeah, sure.
Doesn't much matter.
Fucking Hunch over there with like 2 phones, 1 in each ear.
And it's not too much longer until someone comes walking in. Fucking
Rivaldis, he sits down across from you. The fuck do you want?
How the fuck did this happen? I littered.
Hello, bastard.
I littered. Sorry, I had to call attention to that because that was a gem.
It's very good. Let's see here. What kind of music? No, I don't want to give him like dumbass pirate music. No, that's way too spooky for this guy. Nah, let's see here. I guess we'll just do... Oh, where is it? There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ew.
you see Hunch get let in. He's got his shackles on. And then...
I'm so glad they let him keep his hat in jail.
Yeah, they plop him down, and you see this guy kind of.
You wouldn't take a man's cap, would you?
And he sits down. Oh, you must like me.
Yeah, you're a real charmer. I couldn't stay away.
Fucking good looks, huh? He like shows this beat up face. It looks like he got beat up by a badger.
Oh Jesus!
Hey,
He looks.
You're looking really
Like
good.
scratched by a badger, or like a badger came at him with a lead pipe?
No, boxing gloves.
Ah, yeah. You're looking good, Hunch. You get a haircut since I saw you?
Nah. You did, though.
Yeah. How's it look? I can't actually tell.
Rub it in, why don't you? You got a mirror?
No, I've got a condition. I'm sure you've met other folks like me.
Right, you forget to keep your eyes open, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. All right. So, Welcome back. Oh, so, who's he?
Oh, this is a buddy of mine. His name's Nash. Say hello, Nash.
Just like a very casual wave.
Yeah, he kind of looks you up and down. It's not like, you don't sense there's any negative emotions. It's more like a, no, huh? All right.
Hey man, we have a matching amount of scars, probably.
Yeah, no, that catches his eye more, and he sees the eye. He's like, "Yeah, good for you, man."
Yeah, he's pretty
Good
cool, man.
for you.
Yeah, you get the feeling he's like, "Yeah, I mean, you're halfway there to a pirate if you want."
Yeah.
Right. So, hope my information was useful.
Hasn't come into play yet, but hey, I came back for more. Good news for you. If everything goes all according to plan over the next, I don't know, could be a few minutes, could be an hour, you should be a free man.
Well, look at that. It's pretty good.
It is pretty nice. I can't imagine you want to go spilling any beans at this exact moment, because I can't exactly prove it to you, but if there's a spot you'd like to chat after you take a walk, by all means.
Yeah, let's see here. Ooh. Won't you take me out to dinner, yeah? I've been eating, don't get me wrong, Hushstone Prison, other prisons I've been in. Not shabby for food, but I know there's better stuff in Leviara. I know it.
Oh, absolutely. Tell you what, I don't think we've had our chance to visit the Tiny Bucket. Why don't we go there?
Love to go. Sounds elegant. So,
May's on a dinner date with Hunch? More likely than you think.
Place your bets, Bingo.
Don't be alarmed, but there's some other folks in my crew you'll have to meet when I show up.
do I still get food?
Oh, of course.
All right, then I don't give a shit.
I just don't want you thinking you're gonna get jumped or something.
Please. Looking at now that I've seen your mate here, I could definitely be concerned because he could jump. I'll bet jump high. So, you know.
Just thinking back to that leap he did in the thing, he just nods solemnly, like, yes, I can jump very high.
But at what cost?
But at what cost?
Are you underestimating me, Mr. Hunch?
No. Just got a hunch. That's all.
I like your hunch. Hunches like that get my enemies killed pretty quick.
He looks over his shoulder. Is it showing again? Right. Well, thanks. I wish I had more to say to you right now, but
I'm sure you'll have a lot more to say later.
Oh yeah. Real question is what am I gonna get?
Yeah.
You know, a real friend would order something similar to what I want, and then that way we could share. You know, get a little taster of everything.
I think a real friend would also get you out of prison.
Yeah, he's a great friend. Why can't he do both?
His hypothetical friend.
This fucking guy. Get him out of prison. He wants to fleece me for free food.
Hunch, I have his character stats. He's not supposed to have a high charisma. I might change that.
He's a pirate.
I like his chops.
We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back out here with you two, you hear stomping.
Which one?
As it's a set of footsteps. As two
We
gentlemen.
are both ventriloquists.
And Pride, as he comes around, spins around. I don't care. All right? Based on the information that we have, and the fact that the 11th Hour has done a marvelous job proving the case, and the fact that we've had more instances of mental effects from various spellcasters, yes, he is a criminal, but we didn't catch him for that shit, so we should get out for this one, all right? You can take him. The others stay. He's the one that is most affected by this right now, so fine. I will work on the paperwork for the other ones, but Hunch gets out. Looks to the south.
Hello.
11
Get a little hello.
11th hour.
Mr.
Lawmaster?
Lawmaster?
Keep a good eye on him. And Hunch. And he looks at Pride and then walks out. Oh yes, I'm such a criminal. Yeah, walk away. Go to your nice office. See Pride like all like kind of fluffed up, just like
Yeah, go to your nice office. I'll go to my nicer one.
He does have a nicer
Rivaldis very
office.
quietly leans over to Dia. How is he still single?
It's a mystery. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's
Our hero!
embarrassing.
Oh, I'm
Stop
sorry.
that. Yuck.
I'm sorry.
No.
Well, I
love
can't
Pride
imagine-
so much.
I can't imagine that was too much fun, but I hope you're at least having a better day than yesterday.
It can only go up, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well,
We're
it
not
dubs-
planning on getting any trouble today.
Good. Which is why you're here in prison, I presume.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're in
Right.
the part of prison that anyone can be in.
We're in the nice part.
Not anyone. Gestures to the back. There are some people who are not allowed at this part of the prison.
Touche.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
We're here to pick up Mr. Hunch when he's, actually been processed.
yes. I've already filled out the paperwork, and I've pulled a few more strings. The Lawmaster, as you probably caught the tail of that, is agreeing that Mr. Hunch may leave, but he is to be banned from Leviara, which I think is a pretty decent trade.
Ah.
I don't know if will that even inconvenience him. He's a man of
Oh,
the
he'll
sea,
be
isn't he?
completely out of work, Dia.
There is a key part that Lawmaster missed, though. I said he couldn't set foot in Leviara.
Oh my
Nothing
God.
about boats.
You crafty bastard.
Mm-hmm.
You
But-
could just spit on him from the bay.
I
Lawmaster
don't-
couldn't do shit.
I mean, there is that. But it's a fine line, and I plan on having Hunch become a spy for me.
Rivaldis looks at the secretary. Ooh, shit.
It doesn't matter. She's not going to tell. You don't tell me. He leans on the table. Do you happen to fraternize with pirates? No, Mr. Lionheart, I don't. See, we're fine.
See, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't at all. Just shrugs. Sorry, I've had a lot of coffee to stay awake today, and I've been a little stressed. That's not fair for me to talk to you in such a manner. My apologies. But yes, I find it was one of the trade-offs, quite frankly. More than I wanted. There's a lot of pirates on the sea, and Hunch seems to keep rubbing elbows, or bumping elbows, shoulders, what is it?
Well, I suppose he's gonna bump into people naturally with the hunch.
Yes, precisely. So, I find it as an opportunity to get more information out of him. So, I will go procure him. And there's a guard that's just hanging out outside, like, the 11th hour is talking to him. Oh, is that where he is? Good. Well, at least we know where he is. And let me guess who is talking. Hello,
Wow,
boys.
Oh, hello, Pride.
You get the feeling Pride is like, I had to talk to Rivaldis for probably an hour.
Let me guess who's talking to him. Dia leans over to Redpath. It's a fiendish problem of eliminating choices.
Oh,
You better be good at math.
hello, Pride.
Hello, boys. Well,
Excuse me, Hunch, I have to take this.
oh yeah, take your time.
I take it talks went well?
Yes, Hunch will be released. I need to speak with him, though. So it doesn't need to be immediately while he's still in here, but I do need to have a conversation with him.
Oh no, I got my business out of the way.
Good. Guards, if you'd be so kind as to release Hunch, do not return his weapons to him. He can buy new ones. Ah, fuck you,
Nash
bro.
just like, okay hand, like, we got you out, bud. And then
Yeah, as he's going, he's like giving you a thumbs up through the glasses, like, nice.
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 And takes Hunch, leads him forward. They scan him once again for magical items. And then
oh my god, he got the enchanted shiv in jail.
dude, you have to be careful. You just don't know. And this guard steps aside and Hunch steps forward. Well, it was nice to finally meet you, Mr. Lionheart. Shut up, walk with me.
Shut up.
All right. Mr. Lionheart, before we have our lovely negotiation, my new friends here told me they'd be taking me to the Tiny Bucket. Why not?
Yeah, Pride, why don't you...
Yeah.
You hungry, Pride? Why don't you... I mean, I've still got like half a hoagie, but I can save it. That'll keep.
Nope. We're already going to the
So
Tiny
much
Bucket.
money.
All right.
We are treating that man to lunch.
Well, we didn't have to pay for lunch earlier.
Yeah.
It all balances out.
It's fine. I can cover this lunch if you want to complain about it.
I would love the opportunity.
Thank you. Yes, I will do that.
Oh, Pride.
I'm
Right.
so glad he didn't say it. I felt my heart skip a beat, and I was like,
I get some different music playing as well, because we don't need to do...
ominous dinner.
No, we're talking to... What's his name?
Oh,
talking
double
to
D
Lenny.
down at the bottom.
Yeah,
Oh my
let's
god,
see
it's
here.
idea.
What?
Stray idea.
Oh, yes, it's... And Addis,
Feral
we don't-
Addis has been let out of the house. He's running around the streets.
He
Meow.
escaped.
He's just like stuck in a bush.
He's peeing on a lamppost.
Let's see here. I think, well, let's do night theme. No, that's too sentimental for this garbage fire. God, I'm sorry. I'm really struggling with my
Nah,
music.
it's alright, man. You got plenty of time.
Actually, you know what?
It's just jazz, baby.
Nah.
Yeah, sure.
So, you guys get on the roof of Doodly Doo.
Ah,
Pretend that there are more chairs around the tables.
of course.
Okay. Pick my poison. Where am I gonna sit?
Yeah. Hunch looks pleased as punch. You notice that he takes the very fine napkin and immediately like tucks it into the collar of his shirt.
He's
And-
fucking it up here.
And he like sets the silverware wrong and he just like leans back in his chair. So, thanks a bunch. What are you guys called? You're like a mercenary group, yeah?
Yeah, we're the 11th hour. Pleased to be formally acquainted.
Ooh, 11th hour. I like that. Ooh, you're like just before the shit hits the fan, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, usually it's already begun, but getting in at the last minute before it's too late to unshit it.
Yeah, we're about to eat.
Makes sense. Ooh, it's a lot more dire. And you don't... I mean, yeah, all right. Yeah, it makes sense. Right, Hunch, here's the deal. Before my wonderful little lot of friends here decide to negotiate or interrogate you, I don't quite care what. There is going to be a couple of stipulations with your freedom. Yeah, I figured as much. So, first and foremost, after tonight, you are not allowed in Leviara. Oh. Like ever. Yes, never. I was able to procure a stipulation for you. You cannot set foot in Leviara. Boats are okay. All right, it's not terrible. What can...
Pride, could he float?
Could he fly over Leviara? Is that your question?
Maybe.
I don't know what Mr. Hunch's capabilities are. I could swim. But I sink a little bit when I'm in the water, but yeah. There you go. He can't
Nods
float.
like a same.
I understand what you're trying to do, Mr. Redpath. I will not tolerate that level of tomfoolery. I was very fortunate to convince Rivaldis to these terms. So, no floating, no flying, no anything. Don't come here. Okay, come here, because there is going to be another part of this. You're going to be my little informant from now on. Oh. So, if I had to guess, you want me to... Yes, you're going to rat on every single one of your pirate mates. Every single one. Now? Because we're about to have dinner, mate. I feel that might, create a bit of a distaste for the food, yeah? You will procure a list for me over time. And you will also make sure I am well aware of what crimes have been committed, and you will give me evidence of such things. There are too many pirates out there. We got lucky with Boxomet Sir Howard. He was captured on Girls' Night. Very fortunate for it. And like Hunch kind of tilts his head. All right, sure.
The legend of Girls' Night continues to grow.
Right. Tell you what. I agree to these terms. I'm glad you agree to them, because you would go back to prison if you didn't. Why you got to be such a bully about this, mate? I agree to the terms, happy to do it. What else you want? That's more or less it. Just keep me posted on what your pirate friends are doing. You got it, mate. Now, I owe you folks something, yeah? As we wait for the marvelous French toast and... Oh, I'm sorry, Leviorin toast and Leviorin fries making their way over. Very excited about that. It's been too long. So, what you want?
All carbs, man. There's no...
Yeah, it's all carbs. We're celebrating.
Oh dear, please, you're the
Right. Well, I'm fairly sure you know what I want. It's really what we all want.
Right. Details about the Horde of House Hessive.
Yeah, I do have one particular curiosity in how you managed to get out of there without getting caught, but there's no need to jump to the end of the story.
Right, I got quite a bit lucky. I'm going to change the music a little bit more to the theme of the Horde of House Hessive. Where are you?
Thinking
I recorded it on my Zune, I did.
That's how long ago it was.
12 years ago.
So, the Horde of House Hessive is, it's dangerous to get through, as you're probably well aware at this point, but you're not interested in actually getting to the building. You're interested in actually getting down to the vaults, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the rub.
Right. So, there's this thing called the Incinerator. I mentioned it to Maze before, but it's a particular one. We got real lucky when we tried. I wouldn't recommend you trying the same thing, because I don't think it's going to work again. Because, you see, in order to use the Incinerator, you are going to need some permissions you likely don't have. You see, the Incinerator detects blood, alright? And if you don't have the right blood type that matches a Hessive member, or most specifically, the Greatest Treasures, or the Dragon themselves, you ain't getting down there. So what we did is, we had a mate who was pretty good at magic, God rest his soul. And,
Oof.
yeah, he's still in prison. So... He was able to cast a little invisibility sphere on us, and we were able to get old Snuggy on the corner of the Incinerator as one of them big fellas activated it to go down. We waited for them to vacate the premises, and then we decided to follow shortly after. I don't think it's going to work anymore because, yeah, they seem to update their security pretty quick. So, as I mentioned before, as you descend the Incinerator, the temperature skyrockets. I mean, real bad. We had one of our guys actually faint from the heat. So, he got caught. And when we were able to open the door, which damn near burnt my hands off, and he takes off his, he shows you his hands, and, like, the front of them are pretty well burned. It's still healing, and it looks like they've received some medical attention, obviously, and some cure wounds and whatnot, but even still, it's pretty rough. This went through my fucking sleeves. So if you're going to be opening anything metal down there, which is all the doors, you're going to need something to do it safely. But when we stepped out, we saw multiple, I don't know, weird little fire lizard guys. Yeah?
Salamanders?
I will just say you're correct. You don't need to roll a knowledge check. You got it in 1. They're salamanders.
Rad.
Huh.
So, sure, why not? I think those are amphibious, but why not? They're lizards. Anyways, so we had to proceed very cautiously, but we realized by the time we got to the end of what the best way I could describe it is a dock? I don't know.
Now, hold on. Elaborate on that. A dock? What, was there like
Right.
a building leading into lava? Like, what's going on there?
I should clarify. So we went through these big doors. I mean, massive. Like, for a better term, they're giant. You're like elbows, pride, and pride's like, I will stab you.
Yeah, wrong guy to try and get camaraderie from.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Maybe
Yeah,
he's
right?
been reading that book.
I don't know what you're talking about. But, so, when the doors open, it leads to this massive stone platform. It's just gaudy as hell with Hessive logos and whatnot. And it ends where there's a massive magma waterfall thing. Is it magma fall? Lava fall? I don't know how to describe it.
If it's below ground, it's magma.
Shit, things you learn. Well, I can't really... I would assume it's underground. Safe assumption as we went down. Very cavernous in there. Anyways, so there's a magma fall, which I learned recently, that leads to a massive river of lava. Okay? This river of lava goes probably
Well, if
100...
the fall is magma, then the river must also be magma. Just
Okay, thank you. So many things to learn. Anyway, so the magma fall goes into the magma river, and it goes for about 100 feet or so at least. And there's also these big obsidian gates that are blocking the way. It's hard to see what goes on beyond that, but it clearly turns back up to the north. And it's more lava. But even from there, I could spot a couple of little vaults down there. But those 2 big gates, there's also a little outcropping on each side that is like, I don't know, good 10, 20 feet before the 2 gates. And there are 2 fire giants positioned there with, I believe, I couldn't get a good eyeball on it, a couple of more salamanders accompanied with them. So, unless you've got a plan to get past massive gates, you're sunk already. And if you're able to walk on, looks at the magma.
she gives a little, like, approving clap.
Yeah, so. But at that point, we got spotted and we had to hightail it out of there. But I was a smart lad. And I waited until my other mates got nabbed. And then I went up the incinerator later and then very carefully made my way out. I then jumped out a window into the water.
So you just hid yourself down there in the heat for some, minutes, hours, waiting for your chance?
I was not going to stay there too long. I waited minutes, mate. And it was risky to do it, but I got out. But again, it's the weirdest thing. There's a point in the incinerator when you're going down, and when you're going up, the temperature skyrockets as you go down. And I mean, yeah, all right, it makes sense with the volcano, but like, this felt weird. I don't know much about magma and things of the sort, but it seemed a lot worse than it normally should have been, you know?
Yeah, no, did it feel better once you had actually gotten down, like, all the way? Or, like, was the worst of it during the incinerator?
It was the whole time we were down there. It was more like the moment the incinerator reaches a point, it just goes, can you handle the heat? You can't. Bad news, bruv. And that's your life.
I getcha.
Now, I should also mention, don't get cute. our little mage friend, the reason why we lost our invisibility, or at least most of us did, is he decided to try and use a little misty step sort of thing, a little teleport.
Yeah.
He disappeared immediately, and I never saw him again.
Really?
So,
it's warded that far down?
Oh, yeah. No, they don't fuck around. This place is... And listen, he like shrugs. I'm not a magic guy. I'm sure there's other crazy bullshit going on down there, but that's what I've got for you, and I hope that's useful.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping, this is just the pessimist in me, but I'm really hoping it's not a case of Oleander's fucking crazy and he locked that place up not so that people couldn't get in, but so that something awful couldn't get out. I'm just, praying.
Well, given its history...
Our luck?
No, given we know that it originated with that portal to the plane of fire, right? So there might be something to that.
So it can be a combination of their history and our luck.
Pride things. I'm optimistic that Oleander would not house something specifically dangerous down there. But I wouldn't put it past him to put something information-wise dangerous down there.
Yeah, logistically that would just make sense. That's the sort of place where you put something that you never want to crop up ever again.
Right. Oh, things to think about that I noticed, and because I'm such a smart guy, I put things together. So, one of the other things I noticed down there is that each of the salamanders got themselves like a bunch of javelins and whatnot, right? But they all have chains on the end of their javelins and a little hook on them. So I guess it's a harpoon. It's a harpoon. So they got these harpoons. If I had to guess, these cheeky fucks impale you and probably pull you into the lava. I mean, if you're a real bad criminal. I'm sure they got rules. Always just to stop you from running. But,
You have to be a pretty bad criminal to warrant being dragged into lava mid-theft.
If I had to guess, the Hessive's mentality is, if you've got the stones to come down here, you're probably a pretty nasty fella.
I wonder if they have obtained legal permission to have their guards execute people.
I think once you go down far enough into the crust of our Earth, laws just stop applying. Who's gonna hold you accountable for yanking someone into a pool of magma?
I mean, there should be consequences.
There should be, but who saw it? I didn't.
I don't like that. Amaranth wouldn't do that, though.
Oh, then again, I mean, salamanders aren't denizens of this plane, so obviously they've got some kind of arrangement with the Hessives, but that they're still intelligent creatures with their own way of doing things.
Yes. Curious.
Anyway, mental note, don't get pulled into the magma.
Yeah, really
Right.
don't get hit by those guys.
Right. But, yeah. From a little bit I could see as well, it looks like some of the vaults have little family logos on them. Isn't that cute?
Huh.
So, at least you'll know who you're robbing.
That's nice.
Trying to think if there's anything else on there.
Did you manage to get any hits in on anybody?
You think?
I mean, like anybody else in your crew, was there... Did you do anything except for actually get down there?
Well, I mean, like I said, I was smart. I found a little corner and I hid there nice and safe. One of my mates went at one of the salamanders with an axe, and as it made contact, the axe melted. So...
That'll happen.
So you're going to want to make sure you've got magical weapons so they don't,
Yeah, so they
fizzle
can
away
handle
like
it.
that.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever told me. How did you get in exactly? Just like...
Oh, right. I kind of glazed over it. Kind of went over that real fast. Basically, my mate turned us invisible. And then once big fella, he's got a beard and whatnot.
Brutus?
I've seen him around. Brutus, yeah, I think is his name.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he and a couple other fire giants were going down to do protocol checks and things of this sort. I don't know. We turned invisible, and we tailed after them. This was dicey, mate. Like, fuck me, this was scary. But we did it, and we were able to sit in the corner of the incinerator as they went down. Brutus was the only one that could activate it to go down. Because again, you gotta have some sort of... I'm guessing you've gotta have the blood or at least the approval of one of the greatest treasures or a dragon. Oh, I should probably specify, if you weren't aware, those are the cute little names they give themselves.
The greatest treasures?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brutus, and if I had to guess, Embernice, probably a couple others are known as greatest treasures. That's because they're a part of the Horde.
That's precious.
And it is, isn't it? And no surprise, Oleander and Amaranth are your dragons.
Right.
So
No, that makes sense. And just to clarify, the sphere of invisibility, that's how you got like all the way like into the building too, right?
Yep.
I don't think that trick will work anymore.
Nope.
he even nods like, I even mentioned it earlier. I would not try that trick again. I guarantee you they've got something to fuck around with that.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Because here's the thing. When we were arrested the first time, all right, because I got lucky and I didn't get nabbed, but one of my mates who did get out, he made a plea bargain deal essentially with the Hessives. Apparently, Amaranth sat him down and interrogated him for hours of every single move we made. And she took diligent notes, thanked him for his time, and left. Now, I should make this clear. Wasn't mean to roughhouse the guy, but
I mean,
don't fuck with her.
When you're in her
Sounds
position,
like
you just
her.
don't have to fuck with them. Like, they know what happens.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Well, that's all very enlightening. We should probably... Oh, yeah? You got something else?
This might sound crazy. At the back, we thought about going this way, and we decided against it when we realized at the back of the Horde of House Hessive, there's rumors that there's a vent back there. It is swarming with the fucking butterflies, though. I know it sounds silly. Don't let them touch you. Good God.
Oh, that would be such a problem.
Yeah, no.
It would.
I've heard those things are truly nasty.
Pride
No,
nods.
they've been engineered with neurotoxin in them. They will actually fuck you up.
Pride nods. Our family has some. Yes, they're quite dangerous.
Yeah,
Not as dangerous as the cows, though.
He just like looks over his shoulder. What are you talking about?
Damn, this Leviaran French toast is something else.
Just forget about that. Yeah, it's a really funny juxtaposition, honestly. Why butterflies of all things?
Oh, so they look nice.
They
what
do
other
look
reason do you
nice.
need?
It's Livy. It's their brand.
I guess, but like there had to have been something a little bit more practical, right?
No, they're swarm creatures. They're awful.
Yeah, but that's what I've got.
That's all been very helpful. Thank you very much.
Good. I'm glad. I was really worried that I might have been taking the piss from you. So.
Oh no, you don't seem like an upstanding guy, but you've been very helpful, and that's all that really matters.
Good. Hear that? I'm going to be very helpful for you in the future, Mr. Pride. Yes, looking forward to the partnership.
As a favor between friends, try and take it easy on Pride, Hunch. He's a good guy, honest.
Oh, I don't doubt that. He's just a little rough around the edges, eh? Gotta sand it off, huh? Don't eat your French toast. Happily.
What toast?
You said it earlier. It's your fault too. Yes, your Leviaran toast. Oh, don't mind if I do. So, is there anything else you need from me, or can I enjoy my last meal in Leviara?
Yeah, you're free to enjoy. Though I'm curious, what are you gonna do now that you're out?
I might swing on by a couple places before I have to go and get some knickknacks for the boys and girls and all my other buddies on the ship. Maybe rob something.
He's honest. He's honest.
Pride looks over. I'm jesting, mate. You won't catch me. And,
That's very debonair of you, but you should maybe not push your luck this time. Pride went really hard to bat to get you out, and the Lawmaster would relish the opportunity to be like, oh, did you jaywalk on your way to the dock? Oh, back in jail forever.
That's fair. Yeah, alright. I'll be good. Alright.
Though, actually, there is one other thing.
Yeah?
Maze mentioned that when you spoke before, you gave him the backstory of how you ended up with that cargo that caused the troubles down at the docks. Do you actually know who your client was? Were they anonymous?
We try to keep things as anonymous as possible, just because if someone gets caught, it can't be traced back too severely. I mean, you catch one of our runners, and the whole organization's fucked, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know? But they were a brand new client. I know that much for sure, because the channels they went through were odd.
Odd how?
Well, normally when we have someone talk to us, they make sure that they, how do I even phrase this? They make sure that they've got a friend of a friend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
One degree of removal.
Yeah, it's like a couple of degrees of removal. It's a good way of phrasing it. Normally there's like a bookie you can talk to. There's a couple bookies, actually. Pride perks up a bit. I'll tell you later, love.
I'll tell you later, baby girl.
Things you can get away with when you're Leonard Hunch.
But,
Yeah,
there's
I'm just gonna guess, even before you say it, did this person come to you in a disguise?
I mean, whenever someone's new to this sort of illegal activity, yeah, a little bit. Bookie mentioned the individual who swung on by, all hooded up and whatnot. I think he mentioned a woman's voice. But, again, we don't try to poke our nose too deep. We got paid well for this job. Like, way more than usual. Especially for something as simple as little balls.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You didn't hear about the end of what those were. Ah, yeah. Those are awful.
Wait, so did my information actually prove to be useful?
Oh,
yeah.
We dealt with
yeah,
it.
for sure.
Stop it. Yeah.
You said there was no other story. Tell me, Maze, what happened after that, huh? Fucking hell.
Those things were wild. Those weren't just orbs. Those were spider eggs, my man.
Fucking yuck.
Yeah, yuck is right. Unfortunately, we didn't take one of your warnings too close to heart. The area of effect on those was way wider than we figured it would be. And,
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, not good at
Not
all.
bad.
Those things pull you into another dimension, eat all of your desires and your fears or whatever. Just a bad fucking scene.
Wow. Well.
Very interesting effects, though, when your body houses multiple consciences.
Everyone slowly turns.
I mean, I would assume.
Everyone slowly turns. Oh yeah, they didn't catch that at all.
Smooth as silk, dear. But yeah, that was some bad stuff. I'm amazed you managed to get it back here at all.
Yeah. I mean, so I do know for a fact that the bookies made it clear that the client paid an exorbitant amount. It's pretty solid. And the client's main request is that these objects, which I know now is spider eggs, be transported with the utmost delicacy and quickly.
Did nudge box and everything went bad.
Yeah, if I were to take a spitball, they were probably trying to get those directly into their hands before they managed to enter any sort of what's the word for it? I want to say larval state, but that can't be right.
Or they hatched?
Yeah, or like even when they're getting close to hatching.
Yeah, before they were
Well,
active.
I feel like that would imply that the client had a bit of a deadline to reach then.
I mean, those things were a
be.
time bomb, you gotta admit.
Did the client have instructions for delivery after they had arrived at the docks? Like, did you have a handoff place? Were they gonna come and pick them up themselves?
I mean, yeah, we had our handoff guy that knew more. Unfortunately, I learned recently, he went to prison first because he got the real gusto to, start swinging at guards and whatnot.
Oh, that's...
Shame is he got killed in prison, so, is what it is.
Oh, that is some kind of prison yard fight, or...
Yeah, I don't know. It was wild. To my understanding, there was just a sudden kerfuffle, and he just got got.
Oh, no.
Pride narrows his eyes. I don't like the sound of that at all.
Yeah, the sudden kerfuffle. No.
That is very unfortunate. I was...
Is his killer still alive?
He kind of shrugs. I think he got taken care of too.
And there you go.
Pride crosses arms. There was reports of a jail riot, and yes, it was confirmed that 2 criminals had died, but the records were pretty dreadful, and for the most part, left be, because the main people that were involved were both dead. There was no one left to really arrest or raise their sentence for.
That makes sense.
But with this new knowledge, this is much more curious.
Yeah, I must say, that's a pretty serious run of bad luck for the necessary parties to be rubbed out of the picture before those could get passed off.
Yeah.
Is there a list of individuals who visited the prison on that day or the day before?
Pride thinks. I imagine so.
We should get our hands on that.
I will work on it.
Much appreciated.
Also, is the handoff man who was killed in this incident, is that the same person who met with the client originally, or was that someone else?
He thinks about that. Chances are he was probably one of the people that met with them directly. Because you see, whenever you set up these meetings, maybe you'll meet a bookie first, just because that's the
It's just
start
the way of things.
It's where you place your order. It's like, for example, if you went to a restaurant, you went into the kitchen to place your order and then left. No, you give it to the waiter to give it to the kitchen.
Yeah.
But considering how weird this person approached this, they were clearly new to the whole process. But the fact that they knew us, or at least knew who to contact, clearly this has been a deal that's happened in the past, but maybe it was a while ago.
Oh.
You thinking of something there, Ed?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I think we're probably thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this has been helpful. I want to just put one to you very straight. If you wanted to, if you smuggled something above your normal pay grade, have you ever considered, trying to learn the identity of your client to then blackmail them with the potentially damaging revelation of what they have tried to smuggle?
Ha! I mean, it's definitely crossed our minds more than once. But the problem is if you start blackmailing everyone, someone's going to get the stones to swing back, and then, oh boy, it's going to be, yeah. Honestly,
it's a bad precedent to start setting.
Honestly, it's mutually assured destruction, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Because if every noble had all their dirty laundry aired, the noble system would collapse here, which, I don't know, up to you, might be good. But it would cause anarchy, to be sure. And the nobles are, pride actually leans in. The nobles are kept on a leash because they need to maintain their social presence. If their reputation is damaged, all deals are off. And then it becomes a scramble for power. There you go, he knows.
Well, that makes perfect sense. And so maybe the answer to this question will disappoint me, but If I were to ask very bluntly, can you think of any means by which one might uncover the identity of your client that haven't already come up? Anything you might have kept as insurance or, anything like that, even if it was not something you'd normally do?
He thinks about that. I don't know. Pride leans over. Want to remind you who you're working for now. Right, government. Haha. Right.
Yeah, enjoy your new role, privateer.
Hey, it's going to be more consistent cash flow. Pride scrunches his face. You're not getting paid. You're being a good Samaritan, Hunch. And just pats him on the cheek.
Oh, no. He pats him on the cheek. What's going on here, Mr.
You get the feeling Pride's like, you know what? Fuck you. Hunch thinks about that. Right. Tell you what. Before I head out, let me go track down the bookie, and I'll see if he's got more deets for you. I'm not going to let you chat with him. Reason being, if he knows that you're sniffing around, you're going to have a huge shakeup in who's doing what, and you're never going to catch anyone.
Oh yeah, we don't want to rattle the nest too much.
See?
You have a system, friend of a friend.
Exactly. And besides, if you want to catch all these nasty little pirates, you gotta play ball sometimes, mate.
I mean, what do you think we're doing now?
Oh, no.
We're midway into the third quarter of a game of hooky squash.
What the fuck is that?
Everyone looks at Dia.
Just to look at Dia for the second time in this
Did
conversation.
you not? Is it just... alright, reference not secured. No problem.
Just a moment.
My experience...
Squash!
Look, my experiences are not universal, evidently.
Yeah, Dia, we know!
Hooky squash. Is that a sport?
Yeah, you should have seen it. Oh no, why am I telling you that? No.
Dia used to play college ball! Could've gone pro!
God. But insatiable, son.
Insatiable, son!
Right. So, tell you what. I'll go chitty chat with him now. You wait right here. My lovely little flowers. And I'll be right back, yeah?
Sure, by all means.
Right. Oh, the bill's coming.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. And, don't worry. Hey, before anyone thinks of anything, I ain't gonna run away, alright? Because I know you'll catch me. Yeah, you're in within 5 foot step. Oh no. But
I mean, like you said, you and I are very good friends now. You wouldn't bail without telling us.
of course not.
And more to the point, you're actually still getting kind of a sweet deal. I imagine if you just left now and then didn't do what Pride wanted, then you would actually not be able to come back to Leviara, which would probably be worse.
Precisely. And besides, good old Leonard Hunch is not the sort that dines and dashes. So, I'll be right back.
Oh, he's gonna get stabbed. Yeah, it occurs to me that people probably were watching this conversation, and somebody should still keep an eye on him.
I can shadow him if you like.
Why don't... maybe...
Hang on a moment.
Maybe-
I'll just walk.
Pride, would you mind going? Cause not that
Pride
you...
going? That's the wrong pick.
No, well, hear me out. Because Pride is, Pride's an important person here and part of the city that people who are doing nefarious things don't necessarily want to just try and shank on the street. We can all be shanked on this. The four of us, absolutely fair game for shanking on the street.
Shanking on the
Shanking
Look,
on
you
the
can't.
street.
He's not gonna be able to do anything with an official following him. I'm just gonna shadow him.
All right.
Don't fuck up.
I'll try not to.
I'll keep an ear out.
Yeah. So, you follow after Hunch?
Yeah. Just keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't get fucking killed.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Let me switch the music a little bit. So, Hunch just makes his way real proudly and safely. And here, we'll actually go back to the Leviara backdrop. You guys are no longer at Hushstone Prison.
That's right.
You're over boop boop boop. Here. And then Maze is tailing after our boy Hunch. Why don't you give me
Give us a meow meow.
So, a real quick question. How are you pursuing? Are you, like, staying to the rooftops? Because that's, like, somewhat feasible, actually, for a good chunk of this area.
Yeah.
Especially with Leviara shaped the way it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna do as much of that as I can.
All right. So, give me a stealth check.
Sure thing, champ.
Ooh.
Okay. Alrighty. So, I'm also going to be rolling some things on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I need to find... Yeah, so you're able to follow along pretty decently. I mean, pretty decently. You rolled, like, bonkers high.
Right.
And there is a point where he, like, disappears into a small crowd. So give me a perception check, because we're now getting into the part of the evening where it's starting to get a little bustling in the downtown. I'll just ping to here.
Yeah. That'll be... And you know what? I think this is a justifiable circumstance to burn a charge on my mask to get an extra +5 on my perception.
Ah!
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, somehow the fact... Fantastic. Somehow the fact that it can do that is the least noteworthy thing about it.
But still useful.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Maze, you're able to keep up with him very easily. There is, like, for a fraction of a second, you lose him. But then, like, he bumps into someone and he like, grabs his hat again, and you see the motion. Like, all right, there he is. And
Yeah.
he keeps on going. At a certain point, he gets out into this big open area where the theater is. Do you drop down and tail behind him? Do you want to, like, jump on the theater?
No, I'll jump down and keep tailing him.
Okay. So, let's see here. So, as you are getting closer to the docks, you do notice something interesting happen.
Matthias stabs him.
Everyone who hates you sends their regards.
Oh,
Hunch, the side of his head just detonates. And he just crumples to the ground. Blood is everywhere.
Ah, okay.
Alright, Maze, are you able to see invisibility right now, or...?
I'll turn that shit on.
Do you see a gymnast flipping away?
Oh, Matthias is not here.
That's because Matthias is invisible!
You know, reasonably, I probably would have spent the invis charge already, but I somehow doubt that would have affected my ability to do anything about this.
Mm-hmm. Oz?
I
Sorry.
just, my jaw just dropped.
Yeah, I was sitting here like,
I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
his head sure exploded. Yeah, do I see anything other than the immediate problem?
With your very, very high roll of, is that including the +5?
Yeah.
Let me roll, because let's see here. I need to see what their stealth is and whatnot. Okay. So yeah, looking over, you do spot rather quickly There is a cloaked individual. Let me grab their icon.
Wow.
That is like the thing about them is they are kind of off on the side, and where you see them, they are just standing there, nod, and then just very casually walk away.
How far are they?
I would say they're probably a good, like, 50 feet. They're pretty far.
Okay. I do have a play, but I need to check a quick specific.
Yeah, and that's fine, because the next thing you notice is we're kind of at the docks area where there are a lot of pirates, and suddenly you see another individual pull out their handgun and just shoot someone. And then another guy grabs their saber and stabs him, and it, like, rapidly escalates out here.
The man in the back said everyone attack.
I see.
Yeah, alright. Boy, this is a bit of a situation. Right, well, I think first order of business is probably Maze very quickly declares, shit! There's a situation into the little dingus.
Yeah.
There's a situation, I'm at the docks. Then, so how far away is Hunch from me?
Hunch is probably 30, 40 feet.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna try and close the distance between me and Hunch, you know, try and actually assess if he's alive still or not, might be helpful. But but before I do that, so Dia, you had your hunch on who this person might be.
Yes.
And you had the thought that they're almost certainly using some sort of disguise magic on top of being fucking invisible.
Possible. I mean, we know they're disguising their voice.
If nothing
I had my
else.
original thought of who this was. I'm not as certain now, but yeah. I think there's a good chance that there will be illusion components as well. Though if they are going around invisible, they might not actually be disguising their physical appearance on top of that, because that's kind of overkill.
Yeah. I think...
At the very least, they have voice modulation.
God, what do I fucking do?
And I should say, as you're running up to the body, there are more and more people. There's like civilians that are running away. With your high perception, you do also notice that there are some citizens who, like, there's one gentleman who, like, grabs a chair and just smashes it over another person, and then kind of like backs up like, sorry, I had to. And it just, like, everything is going batshit.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
not
this
a
is
whole-
so
no.
fucking clever, Will.
Not a whole world of shit that I could do about that.
This is so sneaky and so fucking clever if this is what I think this is.
Alright, well, I'm gonna try and make a mad dash, close the distance between me and this person as much as I can manage. If they start reacting to that, feel free to inform me.
Yeah, so they are gonna keep on walking. And there's a point where someone, like, runs at them, and they very deftly step to the side, just to make sure, because again, they're invisible.
Right.
And at a certain point, they actually walk up to a carriage. They hit the back of a horse and then just hang on the side of it as the person that was driving it loses control and it disappears.
All right. Well, I'm definitely not going to be able to catch them, because I don't have haste. They have a head start. And if they want to fucking run off on a horse, they're going to be able to get away with that. But if
Did they hitch a ride on the side of the carriage, or?
Yeah, they're just hanging off the side. They haven't, like, sat in the actual, like, driver's seat.
Okay,
Because there's still a driver there who's, like, trying their best to get control of the animals, but all the noises
Normally,
and whatnot.
carriages in the city don't travel that fast.
No.
I would think actually you'd be able to at least keep pace if they decide they want to stay on the carriage as opposed to, flipping into space.
Oh, all right.
But they did smack the horse to make it,
I guess
you
I'll
know.
try. I can't really do anything for Hunch more than do an instant look at him. Is he dead?
Give me a heal check.
Will's narration and referring to Hunch as the body, I feel implies an answer to that
I mean,
question.
there probably
We
is an
never
answer.
know.
My heal check is nothing, but given Maze's area of expertise, I feel like he can probably tell when someone is dead or alive.
So like, no matter what, I will confirm whether he's alive or dead on your roll, even with a natural 1. This is to see if you can, in this very quick amount of time, discern any notable details.
Sure.
Okay. So
that's as good as it can get for me.
So examining him, you see that he's dead. Done so. Like,
bummer.
He's a hardy dude just because he's a pirate. He's lived a rough life, and he probably has a couple of levels, but he's still just like a guy for the most part. You notice with that 19 that it looks like at the ears are where it exploded.
At the ears.
His
and
ears exploded.
Exploded outward or
outward?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Well, if they can cast brain explosion, surely
Can
Myers can handle it.
There's no brain to
I mean,
explode.
hey, you got away from delicate, right?
Yeah, that felt like a really dubious circumstance to escape from, admittedly.
So, just, I know I'm not there, but just from what Maze is seeing, does this look like he was, like, shot point blank in the head, or that it literally, his head exploded from the inside out like a scanner's type thing?
I should, so to clarify, like, his head is still intact for the most part. For the most part. But it looks like the detonation starts from the ears and goes outward. And, like, looking at it, he is fucking mangled. Like, the jaw's dislocated. The eyes are borderline popping out of his skull. It's like an immense amount of force happened and then expanded outwards.
Damn, this is like OG Ebon Ward gore.
Yeah. Sorry, Hunch. I'm glad I sponsored your last meal.
Come to beautiful Leviara. Hey, people explode.
It's not, like, obviously things have taken a turn, so it doesn't really matter anymore, but for what it's worth, when we paid for that meal, I was going to tell them to put it on Oleander's tab.
I mean, that can still happen.
A minor point now, but I feel like it's still want to make.
I'm inconsolable. My day is ruined.
I'm so sorry, Rube.
I'm so sorry, Rube. This is just what would happen.
There's no time for sorry. I'm gonna try and catch up to your invisible gymnast.
All right. So you go sprinting after, and you notice that the invisible gymnast just like is hanging on the side and like not really doing anything, and they like do a double take behind and go, "Look at you. New toys. Heard about those." Give me a fortitude save.
Yeah, sure. Does any sort of motion come before this fortitude save?
No, actually.
No! Love that. Alright. Fuck you!
Oh boy.
It's a great day to be Maze, man!
It sure is!
So, you can take half of this.
Oh, you getting force blumped?
Oh my fucking god, this
So
person!
half of that, we'll do 24. So you take 24 damage, and your head is just shaking from, like,
They escalated straight to exploding your head, too?
and
Oh, shit!
your ears are just ringing, and, like, you can feel, like, and all you actually hear it in your head before it goes off. Stop right there. And this just sonic boom detonates in your skull. You lose your footing for a moment, but you rolled a natural 20, so you keep running. Blood is dripping from your ears as you go.
Like hell I won't! Alright.
The individual's like, you notice them for a moment, like, actually spin around and, like, just put a hand on their chest and go, My, look at you.
Alright, now here's...
Head explode is supposed to kill everyone.
It's supposed to kill everyone. Here's my play. I'm well within 30 feet. I'm gonna try and telegrab something from this person.
Oh, something metal, huh?
Something metal.
If you have a metal thing on you, I want it.
I
Okay.
want it.
Okay, cool. So here's what we'll do. You do your normal telekinetic thing and whatnot. Their CMD will be a little higher strictly because you don't know what you're grabbing. Like you're just reaching out and just grabbing anything.
I have an exact thing that I would want to try and grab for if we suspect it's Oleander, but...
Okay. Okay, if that is the case, if you're like aiming for like the waist.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's
would be so fucking incredible. If it A, was Oleander, and B, this worked.
I mean, you gotta try for it, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so give me your combat maneuver bonus and all your little bonuses and whatnot, because it will be specifically metal. It can't be anything else.
Yes. All right, here it comes. Dice don't fail me now. Depends.
Unfortunately, so you reach out and you see that their cloak billows for a moment, and they look down and. They actually laugh. Oh, no. Can I get another fort save?
Yeah,
sure. No. Head
Explode
explodio.
again.
I'll fail this one. Probably.
That's still gonna be like 20 damage bare minimum, even if you...
That is a failure.
Oh my god, Maze.
So you will take 40 damage.
Kinda low.
I have to teleport to him.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
and
god,
this...
I totally forgot. So you had already reached out to us. So in my mind, I was like,
Hunch's
I guess
head exploded.
in my mind, I guess my thought was like, so I guess we start running. I fucking forgot. Of course we don't start running. We fucking zip up. We red fast and grab us.
I'm gonna fucking telefrag us onto Maze.
All right, so I will warp you guys here. You probably won't have like an exact destination, strictly because like, you don't know exactly where Maze. You know where he is, but you don't know the exact position for him. So I'm gonna roll something to kind of help determine something. Okay, so you warp, and where you land is more or less where Hunch is. So you're probably at this point a good like 100 feet away from Maze. Because Maze is sprinting. And I will say, Maze, with that failure and this much damage, like you actually can't hear anything right now. You like lose your footing for a moment. You cough up blood. Like your eyes are like basically vibrating at this point.
I have a way around that. I can cast message to him.
Oh yeah, like you can still like shout out to one another and whatnot, but like you're for comparison for distance, this is pretty far. Unfortunately, I don't have a map for this specifically.
That's fine.
Also, Rivaldis is not here. I should just make that clear.
Or is he?
Or is he?
Yeah. Let's see here. So at this point, that's kind of your turn to warp here. Maze. This is your opportunity. What other thing would you like to try? Again, you are like fumbling, like you bump into someone who like for a moment is about to hit you, but then some other guy walks up and just shoots them in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Well, I've got one more play.
Yeah?
It's gonna be use of a pretty pertinent resource, but admittedly, the use of this resource was to stop someone from moving. So, I guess I'll throw an ice bomb at him.
Oh
my god.
Ice bomb.
How?
I kill him with my ice bomb.
All right. So is that a fort save?
I did not write down the stats on the ice bomb. Admittedly, I didn't think I'd be using them.
Bomb stats. It's a DC 18 fort save.
Reflex. You changed it to reflex.
Oh, that's right. It's a reflex.
Yep.
It is a reflex. All right. So I'm just gonna roll a d20, and I'll do the modifier later because I just for the sake of like, yeah, because you don't know who this person is, so I just need to like, yeah.
Oh,
That's pretty bad.
What is the save?
it is 18.
It is 18. Okay. So just mind is racked with pain. You fumble around on your belt and just Hail Mary. You see this ice bomb land. It hits the side of the carriage and then detonates outward, freezes the entire side of it. Like honestly, because of the like concussive force of this thing, the entire carriage just capsizes.
Oh yeah.
And it's just covered in ice. The horses, they're probably done at this point. And the person that was driving the carriage is just covered in ice. I would wager because of the angle of where it's hitting the carriage, they themselves are fine. They probably got a little bit of frostbite, but they're not dead. You haven't just killed some random person. And looking back, as the kind of mist settles, you see this individual just like trying to tug their limb from the frozen carriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can roll 86 ice damage.
Oh yeah, give me that ice damage.
Wow, 8d6 ice damage. All right.
You killed him with your ice breath. All right. So this, you see them kind of like shaking in place, doing their best to kind of tug out of it. All right.
That's about all I got.
I think
Thoroughly signaling our location.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I
not
probably
hard
just asked Maze, where are you? What are we looking for?
Boom!
Yeah, no,
All right,
you guys see and hear this like vibrant blue blast, and look over and there's like some snowfall happening, but most importantly, there is a carriage and the sound of horses squealing as this carriage just slams on its side.
Okay. Red Path, you got True Seeing?
Do I have that? I did. Oh fuck! I already used it. What did I use it on?
Oh, we
I
used
used
it
today.
I think you used it when we were guarding Deletta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
yes.
all right. It would have been nice, but it's not 100% necessary. Okay. I think you said we're about 100 feet back now. You said, right?
Yes, it's still pretty
Okay.
far away.
I don't think there's a better play than casting haste right now.
No.
Okay.
To start with, so Dia's gonna cast haste and then just fucking book it. I can use my my little minor shapeshift to get +5 movement instead of my temporary hit points. I'll do that, and I guess I'll move 65 feet, just sprinting down through the crowd toward where the explosion happened.
Yeah, you see this is fucking anarchy, and the Keepers have shown up, as well as the Blue Jays, and they are doing their best to try and corral this situation, but you do spot that there is the occasional Blue Jay that just suddenly goes at it and just wails at a random civilian or another Keeper.
Okay. As Red Path is running through, I'm not gonna get to use my full movement. It would be nice to get to Maze, but regardless, in this turn, I would not be able to reach him.
Yep.
So on my way over, I am going to cast Serenity. So, this can get at least 10 people, within 30 feet of each other. It's only gonna last for 10 rounds, but, they can't be Viants. If they gotta pass a DC 20 will save. So give me 10 of them, buddy.
I mean, I think you're just like, are you just getting like the crowd TM?
Just the crowd. He basically wants to spread it throughout the crowd.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just roll 10d20s, and this will be like the people immediately around you.
Yes.
Fail.
Fail. It's a
probably
DC 20.
Pass. Okay, so you do actually do a pretty damn good job of like preventing a lot of people from killing each other. Like there's one point where two guys come at each other with like pieces of chairs or even a saber, and the guy with the saber stops. He's like, I can't do it. And the other guy uses an opportunity and just rams it through their chest.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, it's bad. It's getting real messy. But you did prevent like multiple people from just straight up dying right here. A very good play.
Oh man.
You run.
You know who can probably actually just get there because they don't have to cast a spell?
Oh, here's a question, actually. Did you bring Pride?
I don't.
I mean, he was sitting there at the table.
He
with
was
us.
sitting there with you.
Yeah, you
Surely
could have
he
brought
would
him.
want to come.
I think he would want to. Yeah.
So Pride is he is with you at this point, and he does the immediate thing of like trying to calm people down, and instead of like full on attacking or killing people, he like restrains people and like knocks them out as quickly as he can.
Pride would want to come unless he was already here.
God, what a bad twist.
The track restarts.
Yeah. Okay. And then Nash, how far can you run?
With haste, I can go 70 feet with one action, so I don't think it's close enough to be able to, you know, move and
No,
do
but
something, but I can get right in there.
Yeah.
Because double move is 140.
So I know the person in the cloak is invisible. Are they covered with enough frost or anything to make their position?
I could also
obvious?
do like a survival check to like...
Yeah. I will say that this individual is like a pseudo version of fairy fire. They still have concealment.
Yeah.
So like for example, their like left arm is, from what you can tell, frozen to the side of this carriage, but their right arm is not, and you can't see that at all. So there's still like that weird dangerous territory of like there's still a limb free here.
No somatic components.
You only need one hand for those.
Fuck.
Yeah. All right. And then so Nash is you can sprint. So you have 140, yeah?
I have to double move to get it, but yeah, I have
Yeah.
140.
You can be up in their business.
Yeah, so you are able to get up in their business, but there's not much else you can do. And this individual just nods, seeing you coming. That's right. Come on, boy. But time's up. And they whisper something, and dimension door. It is a verbal component only.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Nash just like stomps the ground, and like a bunch of ice around him breaks, and he's like pissed.
Yeah.
No counter spells,
I'm-
says chat?
Oh!
Oh,
Screen meter!
Fuck, you're right.
We got a shot,
Unless it's-
baby!
unless it's
Wait.
a-
Hold on.
unless it's a
Okay.
Hold your horses,
supernatural
everybody!
ability.
Oh,
Obviously, we need to wait to see the roll. But how delicious will it be if this person's like, haha, time's up.
Oh!
Fuck.
All right. So let me. I'm again gonna hide their modifiers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
They're a spellcaster, they probably beat it,
Yeah.
but like we had to, you know.
There-
Do we
so-
have any cards left?
So there is this amazing moment for you, Nash, where they're like, sorry, time's up. And as they're casting the spell, you can hear the voice getting pulled away to the sword, and they're like, I must cast faster. And they are able to barely squeak on by.
Fuck.
That was damn good thought on chat. I wasn't even trying to cheat the doodle. I just totally forgot.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking clutch.
Well, threat teleported away. Collapse.
I don't know. I don't know.
Redpath, can you help me?
This is
Yup. Oh,
this is
God.
a big stretch. This is a huge stretch that I'm asking. But does Dimension Door just like boof, or is there any sign of like the direction it would have gone? Any sort of particle movement?
It's just a
Like, I
boof,
don't know.
as I
it's
understand
just a
it.
boof.
I mean, Kingmaker
Yeah.
would disagree with you, but it's a matter of personal taste.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, how have we been doing it? I feel
I
like
mean, I don't think anyone has tried to track a Dimension Door before.
yeah, no one's ever tried to track a dimension door, so I'm trying to think. I don't know if you would know like the direction specifically. Let me
Doesn't
read
say.
this.
It really doesn't say.
You instantly transfer yourself. You always arrive exactly in the spot desired.
Yeah, it
It
works
mostly
however
talks
you want
about
it
the
to.
like mechanics of
Yeah.
the like teleportation itself, and not the like you know.
What do you think,
trying
Will?
to
Want to give
track
us a
it.
chance?
Delicate did, I think? No, I think Delicate tracked by other means because
No,
they
Delicate had the
estate under
scarecrows
surveillance.
in
Yeah.
the
Delicate had the
yeah.
scarecrow, which detected movement. So the moment Dia appeared, because it was kind of glossed over, there were skulls in all of the scarecrows to allow her to use Skull Sentry, the spell. So she always knew who was out in the field. So I will, for you, Nash, because you're close enough, give me a
Yeah, and I suppose Scream
survival?
Eater also tried to pull in the spells, so...
You know what? Because Scream Eater tried to pull it, yeah, give me a survival check. And then we'll kind of go from there.
I know it's fishing, but we gotta fish.
No,
Gotta
absolutely.
fish. We're at
You
the
gotta
dock.
cast a line.
Hey,
Oh.
okay. So I will tell you, Nash, that there was a moment because of Scream Eater's weird interaction that you can actually see, like, for a moment where this movement is going. It looks like it's going to the upper part of the city to get as far away from you guys as possible. You don't know exactly where, but like based on the angle and whatnot, because basically what I'm trying to describe is it's a dimension door, so you actually got to see through the door where they were going, and it like looks out onto the ocean, and based on the angle, clearly up high somewhere. Yeah, Pride is very quickly like running over. He like runs over to Hunch like, God damn it! Fuck!
Here, miss. I help you. I help you.
Just real quick, as Dia gets up, she's just going to feel around in the spot where the person was, and particularly where they were stuck to it, just on the off chance that, like, anything was dropped or a piece of cloak was torn off or anything. And maybe not, but it's worth checking while we have the chance.
I mean, a bomb and shrapnel did go off. It's not an unreasonable ask.
So, I will say one of the things that you get is a ring of protection +2.
Oh.
Like, that was
They
just what
dropped
was
their fucking ring!
and what's the other thing that they have? You also find let's see, what else would be left behind?
I mean, hey man, they took 8d6 damage, they might have bled.
Yeah, they did bleed, but
Like, I don't know, I'm just putting it out there as a maybe. You're the one who knows
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Do we have a spear of frozen blood?
Well, because the way it works is it doesn't like it's not like it's shooting icicles out everywhere. It's more of like a sudden blast that lowers the temperature to a dramatic level and has like a bit of concussive force.
So it would really depend on whether, like, the water vapor that froze in the air, like, pierced them or not, or whether they just took damage from the temperature drop, when I don't know.
Yeah. So if you want, give me a perception check to like, or survival or whatever, to kind of like examine this area of the carriage to see like what else is maybe left behind.
I got you, Dia.
I appreciate it.
Okay. So Nash, you quickly look around, and it was kind of hard to tell before, but looking at like where the hand was frozen, it's a pretty clear bet that this individual, it's interesting because Maze will be able to like not fully unconfirm, but be able to be like, that's a little weird, is the cloaked figure. They looked like a bigger individual, but the handprint that's left behind is clearly for a smaller individual. Not like a gnome or anything, but like probably more feminine.
You have a handprint, don't we? Okay. Then Dia's gonna real quick take out a sheet of parchment, set it down, and just trace the hand where the hand was frozen to the side of the carriage, so that we have that to compare.
Absolutely.
Good find, Nash. Okay.
Yeah, I saw for a second. Think they went up top of city, somewhere up high.
It's kind of a crapshoot to try and go straight after them
Yeah,
now.
but-
Let's stop people from killing people first.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you see Pride like quickly run up to someone, and just like sleeper hold them as he's grabbing another one by the collar, preventing them from chasing another person. Yeah, so I will say that Dia, I think it's safe to say at this point, Dia, that looking around, this is a very similar spell to the one that you and the other people got hit by back when Deletta was first attacked.
Yeah, I think that almost went without saying, but I'm glad to have confirmation.
Yeah, based on, because like what you notice very quickly that even ignoring Redpath's spell that's causing people to not attack each other thanks to Serenity, or what was it? Yeah, Serenity. There are times where people are about to swing and they go, I don't want to do this.
I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the feeling she remembers.
And this lasts for a good minute of just like corralling people. So let me know what you're doing to try and calm people down, whether this is spells, whether this is like physical action. And I should clarify that now there are fire giants starting to get involved. And let's see here. There's actually one other person that'd probably be here at this point. Oh, actually thinking about it, that is one scary thing.
Okay, I'm back.
Actually, yeah, I should roll for them because they were probably nearby.
Hold on.
Yeah, this will take a change of who I have to subdue if they do bad enough.
I need to double check. Save. Okay, so he is able to save against it. But there are other fire giants who did not.
Yes.
And
Great.
you do see like one person get just smushed. Quite frankly.
Yeah, I think Nash will be on fire giant physical. Even if he can't physically stop them, he's going to at least be the target, you know?
Yeah, and you see
Because
Brutus
he
like...
knows he can take it. A random civilian can't.
Yeah, and you see that Brutus comes running up and he like full Nelsons some of these fire giants. Please, what are you doing? Stop it! These are innocent people!
I think,
Okay.
for Dia's part, I think what she's gonna do to try and help out here is... Oh, I guess I could... Yeah, so normally these... I haven't used this spell in a hot fucking minute, but I could use my Bonded Object spell to try and throw out a big spread of black tentacles and just restrain everyone.
I do have another similar thing to Serenity I can do, if you want to keep that, just in case. I can do Greater Forbid Action, so that's at least another 10 people.
Yeah, that lets you hit 10 more people and tell them to stop attacking.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing that you're realizing is like, this hit a huge crowd of people.
Yeah.
And luckily a lot of people were able to run away, so it's contained to this area.
You know what? Okay, in that case, I think what Dia's gonna do instead, she's gonna cast Magic Circle against evil and run around trying to get people in its radius, because if the source of the effect is evil, they get a new save against a mind-affecting effect. And so if it doesn't work at all, we'll know the person is not evil, just an asshole. But I'm guessing that it will.
Yeah, interesting. I need to look at that for them really quick.
While you think about that, Maze's contribution, because he's really more about killing people than stopping people from being
Hey man,
killed.
he already did his part.
Yeah, no, I did my job, but like, Maze hobbling. It's just gonna try and clear out Rubberneckers. It's like, get the fuck away. Do not come near this shit.
Yeah, no, Maze, I would wager at a certain point you even like shoot in the air to be like, get out, just fuck off. What are you doing? Yeah, there's like a couple of curious people, but it's like you have fire and you're like pushing back wolves, like back, I say. It's like, just trying to get people away from
Definitely
this.
screaming because still a little deaf.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your ears are just non-stop. Yeah, so all these various spells are going off. and they last for the time period that this does finally calm down. Brutus obviously immediately starts doing channel energy to the area and just trying to keep people
I'll help
up.
out with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see what Brutus's channel energy is. It's pretty good if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, all right. Roll. Beep. Nope. Beep. Boop. Beep.
Get away, Maze.
Yeah. So you both start like just spamming cure light wounds to everyone. Or not cure light wounds. Sorry. Channel energy, and finally things start to calm down in the area. Brutus comes running over. Oh, 11th hour! Sir Pride! What has happened?
Same person who attacked Deletta's speech before has done this again.
Villains! All right. Well, I will continue to tend to everyone. Please don't move. I have more questions. Excuse me! And he like runs through the crowd as best as he can and tends to various people. Pride stands up. He's got a bit of blood on him. Someone got their throat slit near him and he's just covered it, and it's like, fuck. God damn it, I can't protect this fucking city.
Good job, Maze. I know we didn't quite get the best result, but damn, fast thinking.
Maze just like wiping blood out of his fucking ears. Sorry,
Yeah.
I had to waste a bomb for it.
Oh my god, hang on. Dia's gonna run over and open up the carriage and make sure the driver is okay.
Yeah, so the driver, they're a little frosty, and luckily, thanks to Redpath and Brutus, they're healed up pretty good. They're still shaking because it's just cold and fear. A lot has happened in a very short period of time. And the inside of the carriage is thankfully just like goods. It looks like it was just transport from the docks. So thankfully, no one else is injured in that regard. Pride like marches up to Hunch's body. I feel like we were asking too many questions.
Sorry you were right about this, Redpath. It was a good idea to tell him.
I apologize. I should have gone. It just...
This is in no way your fault.
They did it middle of day. All these people.
I mean,
They
if
would have
anything,
done it.
if anything, his head could have exploded on us while we were having lunch.
I'm sick of letting this city down. I swear I'm trying.
You're not the one going around killing people.
But I'm certainly not saving them.
Excuse me for a moment. Pride,
Maze?
pull your shit together!
He stands up straight.
There's people around here who are counting on you. Have your pity party later.
He nods. I apologize. Blue Jays, keep track of the of injured. Survey the surrounding area. I hate keepers. Fuck off. Where's Emmett?
Where indeed? Would you like anyone to go and just... Where is Deletta right now? I don't think she's at any particularly greater risk than anyone else, but since we're all here, I don't know, just in case.
Brutus actually comes back over. Bernice was accompanying the lady.
Okay.
So I am confident in her safety.
Okay, yeah.
But that does make me concerned about my niece. These people first. My niece is strong. She'll be fine.
Don't
One of us-
think they can be in two places at once and think they went up. So Not
Yeah,
at
no,
Post
it's
Port
not very
Master.
likely.
Yep. And it's not too long until the keepers start coming in, and they are providing a lot of medical attention that the Blue Jays cannot. Because Blue Jays don't have lay on hands. They don't have cure wounds, but keepers do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is the average keeper really lawful good, though?
They have to be.
A philosophical question for the ages.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything we can help with right now, Pride?
I want to check on Delena,
Okay.
but I have to be here because we have to play ball with these fucking games they're playing. And if I leave now, it looks terrible.
Nash, do you want to go check on her?
I can go.
Like Pride, like catches you on the shoulder.
Thank you.
He just gives him the like camaraderie pat on the shoulder back, nods, and he's off to go. He's been given a job, so
Yeah. Pride immediately like steps forward, and you see he's got this kind of small ring, and he spins it so that the jewel is pointing at him, and he puts it up to his mouth, and as he starts yelling orders, it is amplified in volume.
Yeah. This does tell us one thing.
What's that?
Whoever was doing all of this was connected to the spider eggs. Why else would they want Hunch dead?
Pride nods.
It's a safe assumption.
This also tells us another thing.
You've learned quite a bit, haven't you?
Means I'm not gonna feel bad when we have to splatter this person, no matter who they are.
Well, with my position as a protector of justice and law, I can't say whether or not I would do that. But you're the 11th hour. I haven't much control over what you do now, do I?
We have been known to commit extrajudicial splatter from time to time. Alright. I am going to really quick go in the approximate direction that person went just to see if anyone saw an invisible frozen patch of air scoot off in any particular way.
I'm gonna go with you. I'm going to leave my wand of inflict light wounds with Maze. Here you go, buddy. It's got 21 charges on it for now.
Wow, this is useless to me.
yeah,
Somebody
quick,
around
make a
here could use
check.
it.
Pride actually stops for a moment.
Wait. Nash, take some Blue Jays with you. Can't go alone right now.
He like turns around and like, oh, okay, and like basically waits for Pride to send some Blue Jays over. He doesn't feel like he has the authority to order them around.
No, the Blue Jay, like 3 of them come up to you like, with your lead. And you run off and like, oh fuck, he's fast. And they do their best.
Like running, but he is speed walking, but his speed walking is faster than them. So.
Oh yeah, they're all in full plate armor. Like
yeah.
That barbarian fast movement, baby.
Barbarian fast movement.
Before we move off to either of those things, just one last small note. May as well stay here with Pride. Needs some emotional support, even from the fucking him of all people.
No, you're level-headed about it. It's good.
Yeah, and you get the feeling Pride is usually far more level-headed, but this has just been domino after domino after domino.
This is a lie. I don't think anyone would blame him for breaking on this. But Maze is gonna reach into his pocket, take out a coin, and put it in one of Hunch's pockets. Sorry, buddy. It's hardly worth your life. You shouldn't die penniless, at least.
Pride actually smiles at that. He's like, that's amusing. And you get the feeling Pride's like, 'cause I wasn't going to pay him.
I'm not penniless. I had a belly full of French toast, baby.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to end there, or like I'm not trying to figure out if we want to pick up investigative stuff next time, or if we're gonna get to some conclusion, or what is your sense, Will?
I feel like there is probably a pretty good stopping point actually, and we'll pick up with like Nash running over with a couple of Blue Jays over to the Portmaster's office. And yeah. Oh boy.
Damn, this be a session.
Yeah.
As the old saying goes, plot, 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 plot.
Plot, 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 plot,
Yep.
plot, plot. Good call, Civ. Or, yeah, good call, because otherwise I'm pretty sure it would have just been like, anyway, we'll talk for a little while, and it's like, yeah, Hunch doesn't come back for a while, and we go, and he's just exploded, and we're like, oh, yeah,
he
that
would've
was
just
predictable.
namelessly died in an alleyway. I certainly wasn't gonna tail him.
Yep. Well, I mean, so the thing is what would have probably happened is Hunch would die.
Obviously.
But then none of you would be there to prevent the chaos that followed.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's good PR for us.
Wow, gotta look on the bright side.
Yep. Like, I'll tell you this right now. You get the feeling PR is a little weird for everybody because the 11th hour, people will be like, oh man, they saved a lot of people's lives. And there will also be Pride was there, and he saved a couple people as well. And so was Brutus, and there were some other fire giants. Keepers did an excellent job popping in for like healing afterwards.
But what do you know? The Blue Jays look like shit.
Yep, Blue
On the
Jays.
other
Even
hand,
some of the fire giants did
yeah, I was
too.
gonna say, on the other hand, before it was only the Blue Jays who looked incompetent or traitorous, but this time the fire giants as well, so like, it's not uniformly everyone's good but the Blue Jays. It's I feel like this can underscore the fact that I guess there really is an invisible terrorist out there doing this. It wasn't a one-off thing that was just
this
a
is
Blue Jay
just-
fuck up.
This is full-on terrorism right here.
Yep. But only, from what you could tell, only one fire giant got nabbed, and then the rest were like doing their best to try and like calm this. There was only like 3 altogether, including Brutus, but yeah.
Pretty small scale, all things considered. Well, good session. Before we go through fan art, I need to go to the bathroom. So, as I always do, I will trust you guys with shilling the links in an orderly fashion and not double check
do
you
it.
if you did a good job or not.
Go for it, Az.
Hey guys, if you like what we do, you like hanging out, you want to be involved in conversation and submit fan art, which we're going to go through in just a little bit, head on over to me almost linking the Twitch channel. Hang on. Hang on over to our Discord. Yeah. We also have a goddamn Patreon.
Yep, Patreon right there. The Patreon has all sorts of fun little things. We like to post new icons that crop up, as well as generics. I haven't decided what this month's generics are going to be, but the last couple have been elves, dwarves, humans. Might do Undine. That could be fun.
Oh man, put Hunch up there.
Hunch. You
Rip
want
in
Hunch?
peace.
I'll-
Salute.
I can't believe this
I'm so
happened.
sorry, Rube.
I'm so sorry, Rube.
Everything I touch turns to dust.
I'm so sorry,
Shame in
Rube.
it.
There he is. That's the man. Oh, you know what? Hold on. In honor of Hunch. He's earned Sad Theme 2.
Hunch.
Hunch.
I'm back.
Theme of
Leonard.
Hunch.
Leonard. We felt it was only appropriate that we give Hunch a send.
R.I.P. Lenny the Hunch.
Lenny the Hunch, the character that I needed to be here mostly for like exposition things and didn't think he would be that well liked, but shit man, he was funny.
Shit.
And I
man.
think you knew at least one person who was guaranteed to like him that much.
Yeah. Sorry.
Rip
Rude.
Hunch, like 2 or 3, I don't know, 3 episodes. Rip.
Right.
Listen, I haven't taken pride away.
You do that,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be blood in the streets.
Oh, I'm well aware. I'm well aware. But
Well, enough of that moment of silence.
oh,
Put on
God.
Brody Quest.
Oh, you want some Brody quests?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, sure.
Bye, Hunch.
Later. All right, I got the Imgur because no one else did.
Oh,
we did all the other
showing the
things.
other stuff. Get over yourself.
Hey, look, I like I said, I didn't check if you did that, but I checked if you did this.
Oh no.
So we've got an Imgur. I believe it is from Sign Centaur, maybe.
I believe it's from Bread Bunny.
Oh, it's
actually.
Bread Bunny. All right, I looked at
Yeah.
the wrong name in proximity. Thank you, Bread Bunny.
Thank you, Bread Bunny. This helps us a lot.
Ebon
Put it up
Weapon,
on my
episode 125. There is nothing inherently wrong with Lenny the Hunch. Smile.
Oh,
Unless.
unless.
So at the top of the pile from Bread Bunny, the Midnight Crew. Astute call, making May's spade slick. That's just accurate.
Oh wait, did I say a Homestuck thing?
You said a Homestuck.
Are you sure?
No,
did?
I
Did a Homestuck.
No!
And I'm sorry to say, I replied in turn with Homestuck. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw it, but I wasn't gonna say anything more about it. I just like groaned off mic.
Then from a Yet No Bananas.
It's a picture of Will right now.
Oh, I just.
Homestuck.
My Homestuck in my academy? I don't think so.
I
You know
love
what?
his little bow tie.
Do you know who's a Homestuck? I'm a Homestuck. I'm stuck at home all the time now.
Thank you, Yet No Bananas.
Oh,
From the silver one. Aw.
lovely. Oh,
I actually had a lovely day. Wait, what happened?
It was
Well-
it was just wonderful. What's going on with y'all? What?
why y'all say it? Oh,
so
that's
much.
very cute. Thank you.
From Salem.
Will says a Homestuck.
He who maids make.
God.
I don't know what that means, but I don't like it.
It's Spade Slick. but
Spade
with
Slick.
M's.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Salem.
This is, oh wow, this is very on. Yeah. Tia, did you eat a man and make a deal with a demon? Bleh.
Listen, I hate to be this guy. I fucking love this meme.
It's
It's
pretty
so funny.
The one with the Dark Brotherhood.
Oh my
has me in
God.
stitches every time.
That's probably the best one I've seen.
I tell you, there's nothing quite like meme culture to dig up truly the most obscure pieces of media. Thank you,
Love
Skip.
it.
And from Lemieux?
Well, this is all a little fucked.
No, you have no idea, buddy.
No idea.
Oh,
Oh my God,
heavens.
6.
Thank you, Lemieux.
Outstanding. Thank you so much.
From 6. Yeah, the vampiric shadow monsters. We've all seen it.
Unimpressed, more annoyed than anything.
I mean, we
I
are.
really
look,
like that maze.
We did shadow vampire nonsense like 110 episodes ago.
One of the
Nice.
first things we saw in Evanwood. And he's like, ooh, let me bring up my shadow vampires.
Like, get a new trick. Thank you, Six. And from Echo Pool.
Get new material. Rivaldi looking at his note cards.
Oh, he's so
I
cute.
just wanted my Coke.
I like all of his cravats.
Where's his coke?
Where's his Coke?
Where's his Coke?
Well, I'll show you.
Thank you, Echo Pool.
Oh,
And from Lemieux.
The music timing with this right now.
It's a party! God, that's so funny.
that's great. That's really well animated, actually.
Thank you, Lemieux.
Oh, I
And
love
from
it.
Bread
Thank
Bunny.
you.
Oh.
Oh,
Rip
yeah.
Lenny the Hunch. Certainly not going to be taking a step in Leviara ever again.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wop, wop, wah. Thank you, Bread Bunny. From Sign Centaur, we've got the session rating scale.
Yeah, look. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Freddy. Who's Freddy Freaker?
It's the Freak I don't know why Freddy Freaker's here, but I know why Donnie Z's here. Thank you so much, Sign Centaur, and thanks everyone for submitting stuff. And Will,
Hey.
thank you so much for running this. This was a pleasure,
Yeah.
despite the grander narrative context.
Aw. Well, thanks, guys, for playing. Also, nice work. Very close. I was sitting there looking at my notes going, uh-oh.
One day, invisible gymnast, one day.
One day.
Yeah,
We've got a lot more to go off of now.
I gotta go grind.
You know what's funny, though?
Spellcaster so that I can raise the DC. That's what we didn't do. Speedrun strats.
You know what's funny though? Every time we encounter them, we have a higher chance of clowning on them in like a really silly way.
Yeah, that is just what we do.
That is what we do.
But yeah.
Oh boy.
Thanks so much for running this. Thank you, my fellow players, for being here. And chat, thank you so much for coming out here and supporting the stream. However it is that you do it, be it by subscribing, by giving us artwork, or just being here at all. Your support, however you give it to us, means the absolute world to us. Thank you so much for being here this time, and thank you for being here next time. Say goodbye to chat, everybody.
Goodbye.
Toodles.